What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. It has finished here. Tottenham 1, Liverpool 2 in a crazy, crazy game here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Look, whatever you want to say about Tottenham under Thomas Frank so far, this was a performance that showed togetherness, heart, passion, desire, work rate, team ethic, everything that you want to say that Spurs haven't been showing for the most part under Thomas Frank, which has been fair to say. We've lost the game. We've fallen short. And in my opinion, I thought Spurs were the better team today.
Agreed.
You know, I think when we went down to 10 men, we showed we were attack on the counter. We were a threat on the counter attack. When we were down to 9 men, the ball barely left Liverpool's half. You know, we were pressing them. We didn't muster up the chances that we want. We had 9 men at the end of the day. You know, so I wouldn't say happy with the game because obviously we've lost, but I'm happy with the work rate, the effort and the desire that the team put into this game today. And I thought 11v11, the game was there for us. I think it was pretty much a very even game, probably 11v11. Maybe Spurs were edging it a little bit. The game falls flat because Spurs had brainless moments in times. The sending off with Javi is obviously going to be the first one that everyone talks about. He kind of slips. It's a nasty challenge, studs up, back of a leg, gives the referee a decision to make. You know, harsh, but I think it probably was a red card. The second red card comes at the end of the game. That's just a brain-dead moment from Romero. And what we were saying about Romero, we saw him I was saying he's got the fire in his eyes today. You know, he's up for the battle. Well, he didn't toe the line very well in terms of, you know, being a bit too. He was over-aggressive today. That's the reality. And you saw as the game wore on, he was getting more frustrated, and it culminated in him kicking out at Kanate, and he gets a sending off, double yellow, and well deserved. And it's stupid, idiotic from Romero to do what he did today. And the goals as well, like the first goal, like it's just stupid from Romero again. Like, he's playing it out the back. He's trying that Hollywood pass, and it was just a horrible attempt at it. And I think that's the point where he just went completely downhill. Because up to that point, I thought Kuti was having such a good game. Warrior at the back for us. The challenges that he was putting in, his playing out the back was fantastic. But from that moment, I think he just lost his head, to be honest. And he's given away a goal. The other goal as well. Whether you say he should have been stronger, fine. But I think he gets pushed in the back for the second goal. So I don't think that goal should be given, to be honest. But at the end of the day, he's got to be stronger up against Ekitike there, where he wins the header. So Romero has his hand in 2 of the goals. He puts us down to 9 men as well. That's not what you need from a captain.
Correct.
At all. So I think Romero's got to come under strong criticism today. Because you need someone as a captain, not just to stay on the pitch, but in the big moments as well, not give away chances and big goals. And unfortunately, he did that for us today, and it is very frustrating. So it's a game, again, done by individual errors for Tottenham Hotspur. But we've lost the game, but I'm actually leaving it more frustrated because of what could have been, because I thought we were the better team today.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, first of all, I'll start with Thomas Frank. Like we said, after the Forest game, all week we've been saying, let's see a performance, let's see something different. And do you know what? Today the team showed, like we said, fight, passion, desire, commitment, are willing to run for the team. They gave everything. I think I agree with you, we're the better team. We slightly had the edge and could have played on the counter in the first half. And then obviously Xavi gets that needless, reckless red card, which was a stupid challenge from him. Coming to the second half, everything that Frank would have spoken about, it was the pass wasn't even on for Romero. He's just gone for that, as you said, Hollywood pass. It's fallen to the wrong team, and Liverpool got the players that will hurt you, and they did. Got the second goal. And then, do you know what? It took a while, but Spurs did not stop running. Spurs did not stop fighting. People say they want to see a performance as in attacking prowess, can see us on the front foot, which we were at times. But what we saw in that performance was the team playing for the badge. And do you know what the most important thing for me was? Hearing the home fans. I mean, we didn't even have the headphones on. And you could hear that place rocking and getting behind the team because they saw the willingness, the effort and the commitment to try and get back in the game. And at 2-1, we had a few opportunities. We can all talk about the referee having a few bad decisions, whatever. It happens week in, week out. You're either on the receiving end of it, or like last week, we were the beneficiaries of it decision-wise, but obviously the result not at all. We can take stuff from that game. And like we said, it is individual errors that have let us down. I can guarantee this. No manager, including Thomas Frank, said, Xavi, when you get a chance, put a reckless challenge on Van Dijk. Romero playing needless ball. This has been individual errors that have let us down. But the fight was there from the team. The commitment was there for the team. The togetherness was there for the team. And unfortunately, we've paid for individual errors.
Yeah, we have. And look, the 2 goals that we conceded were questionable in terms of the way we defended them. And that's fair enough. But we've had 10 men since the half an hour mark. We get 9 men going into 9 minutes of stoppage time. And even then, like, Liverpool could barely break us down.
Yeah.
They could barely, you know, they had the ball in our half a lot when we had 10 men. But we stayed strong, we stayed resolute, and it was stupid, brainless moments that cost us. That's the reality. Yep. It wasn't set up. It wasn't anything tactical. It was just completely brainless moments. And look, I've been very critical of Frank over the last couple of weeks and months since he's got the job. Look, I backed him heavily when he did get the job. But I've always said, so far this season, I need to see something to back. And at this moment in time, there hasn't been anything to back. Well, today, I think is a bit different, because I think today there was a clear willingness to fight for the team. There was something to go on today. And like I keep saying, I think Spurs were the better team. And if you look at the stats, bear in mind that we've had 10 men since the 30th minute and 9 men for the last 10 minutes. We had a higher XG than Liverpool today. We had 15 shots on goal. They had 8. We had 4 shots on target, which is equals to Liverpool. We had 2 big chances equals to Liverpool's 2 big chances. So the stats show it was a very even game, even though we had 1.02 XG, they had 0.60. And to do that against the Liverpool side, no matter if they're on good form, bad form, whatever, it's still a team with high quality players.
Yep.
Everyone's going about, we can't create chances. Well, yeah, fine, we could have created a few more chances today, but we created more valuable chances than Liverpool. That's what the stats show. Yeah,
it does. It does. And listen, the league table doesn't look pretty at the moment, but it's the first, let's say, third of his first season. It will change. It will change. We're going into his first window. And do I still back him? Yes. Do I take something from that performance? Yes. Did I take anything from the Forest game? Absolutely bloody well not. And as I was with you, you know I was fuming, like literally fuming, and held Frank fully accountable. But today, I don't. And you could literally see, people would have thought the Forest game, when people say that he's lost the dressing room, well, on that performance, he certainly hasn't. And we need January to be a very successful window for him. Is the pressure on him? Yes. Do I think every Spurs manager should be under pressure? Yes. But you look at it, some managers have a great first half of the season and a poor second half. You have some managers like Pochettino and others that get off to a shabby start in the first half, turns around in the second. Like I said, in all my life of supporting Tottenham, I've never turned on a manager apart from 18 months into Ange's reign. And now we've got people turning after, 4 months? And going nuts. It's wild. And people say Dayglout, whatever, that needless trolls, do what you do. It's just pathetic. Like I said, I go game by game with this fan base now, with the team, because it's just so much nonsense and heat going on this team or the manager, and it's crazy to me. It's absolute craziness.
The reality is, every time we've seen a performance for Thomas Frank and Tottenham, it's always been 1 step forward and 5 steps back.
Correct.
And that's the reality. And to continue to back Thomas Frank, we need to see something on a consistent level, and we haven't seen anywhere close to that yet.
Correct, that I agree with.
And I think that's the biggest thing. And a lot of it has been chance creation, not being able to have even a shot on goal. And teams like Burnley over the last 5 games have created more than Tottenham Hotspur, and that is never acceptable. Never acceptable in a million years. So I get the criticism that's coming towards Thomas Frank at this moment in time. But for anyone that wants to say that Thomas Frank was the master of our downfall today and he had anything to do in the reason of why we lost this game today, I think you're seriously deluded and just looking for sticks to beat him with, because I think Frank actually managed the game quite well today. I think the setup from the beginning, we looked on it. When we went down to 10 men, we looked a threat. When we went down to 9 men, we also looked a threat.
Yep.
So I thought for the whole game, actually, you know, barring moments in the game where we were under pressure, I was happy with the level of performance today. And I got to say, I got to give a few mentions because I thought the two fullbacks for us today, I've given Pedro Porro a lot of stick over the course of this season. I thought he was fantastic today.
Yep.
Pedro Porro, fighting. You saw that fighter's mentality from him. Jed Spence on the other side as well, absolutely fantastic. You know, you got players like Archie Gray, Bentancur, Bergvall fighting tooth and nail for this team today. Bentancur put in a horror show at Nottingham Forest last week. This is what I keep saying with Bentancur. It's one game up, one game down, one game up, one game down. Well, today was one of his up games because I thought he was a fighter in the middle of the park today. So I thought there were some really good performances and really good mentality on show from the team today. It's just unfortunate that we get undone by these individual errors. Look, we're the team that leads the league in terms of individual errors leading to goals, and there was more of them in there today. More of them in there today. So until we start cutting that out of our game, we're not going to be climbing the table. We're going to keep going down and down and down. And the reality as well, I think if results go against us over the course of this weekend, we could be sitting 14th, 15th, wherever it may be. And to be there halfway through a season is absolutely, it's a disgrace, to be honest.
I mean, you look at it, obviously I agree with all the players you mentioned. You look at it going into this lineup, people going nuts about Graham Bergvall playing the two youngsters. They didn't let Tottenham down. They actually put in a very, very good performance in midfield. The people that have let us down is Xavi Simmons and our captain, Cuti Romero. I think the youngsters came on. We needed energy. We needed their engine. I think they did very, very well. Should be proud of what they did. It is your captain and your big signing that made a reckless and needless tackle that have let this team down today.
Yeah. Like, you can't have a captain that does that on the pitch. You can't. Your captain is supposed to be the guy that you look to in times of need to see you through it, not when you get taken down for a free kick on 35 yards out and you're kicking out at the player that's taken you down. I mean, you saw
right in front of the
you saw the red mist come over Coutinho, and we've seen it before. And I thought, there was a time where Romero was getting over those kind of things and towing the line and, just kind of controlling himself a lot better. Well, this season, I think he's managed it pretty well, but we have seen a hell of a lot more yellow cards this season come in for Romero. I mean, he's on 8 yellow cards already, not even halfway through the season, which is crazy. Today he shot us in the foot, Coutinho Romero, and a captain can't be doing that.
Correct. He simply can't. He simply can't. And then, like we said, we go back to Xavi. As we said during the game as well, there has been literally times this season in certain games where we're lucky to have kept the man on the pitch. You can't make those sort of tackles with VAR now. You just can't do it. It will pick it up. It will be used. It was rightfully a red card. And like I said, we were down to 10 men. This game had a lot of kind of similarities to the 2-1 with Ange when we won 2-1, and they went down to 9 men. And like you said, at 2-1, we had the better opportunities. We were asking all the questions. We just couldn't get that rub of the green to get that equaliser. And it's just a shame. It's just a shame. Like you said, today was a team performance. They've done well. They just ran out of steam. And who would know what would happen with 11 v 11?
Yeah. I thought the changes that Frank made, I mean, Richarlison, man. what a cameo that was from Richie. Obviously, he gets us back in the game, and when he scores, he's squaring up to Szoboszlai and all the Liverpool players and stuff like that. But, a great cameo from Richarlison. I thought if anyone was going to level it up, it probably would have been him. And, he was everywhere, wasn't he, when he came on?
He was. I think the highlight of today was... not just you and me, but quite a few people that were watching the watch-along getting duped by that replay and thinking we're through 1-on-1 when it was a corner. Listen, it's so weird with Richie, doesn't it? There's games like Forest and other games where he doesn't do anything and his first touch is terrible, whatever. He's then dropped, he comes back on, then he gets the goal to get us back in it and really was driving the team for the final part. It's all or nothing with him, literally, isn't it? And today, when he came on, he made an impact, got the goal, and could have had an opportunity to make it 2-2. But he's just a strange one, isn't he? He's either absolutely on it and is a major threat, or he's nothing.
I think Richie and Bentancur, for different reasons, have a similar issue this season. It's either really good or really bad.
Yeah.
And we need to find some sort of level of consistency from both of them to move forward with both of them. But for today, I think both of them were absolutely brilliant. They really were. So it was just a unfortunate set of circumstances which led us to lose the game today, to be honest. So what can I say? The captain, you know, it's so frustrating, isn't it, with Romero? Because up until the point of him to give away the ball for the first goal, I thought he was just fantastic. He really was. Battling performance, winning every ball, winning every 50-50.
Yep.
And then from that point on, it was just like a master of his own downfall. So it was just so frustrating. And we all know he's such a good player, man. And that's why it's even more frustrating for a player of that level to do what he does.
The more frustrating thing is, as he committed that foul for the second year, or won the free kick, surely he saw the referee right in front of him. Right in front of him. There was no players in the way, and he has lashed out stupidly. There's no dressing it up or saying, oh, he's trying to get up. Why do it? Why do it?
It's like David Beckham against Simeone, isn't
exactly. We got the advantage. He's got a free kick in a dangerous position. He could have been very useful aerially. But petulance and him lashing out has cost us. And now we're without Xavi and without Romero for a tough game away at Crystal Palace.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. And who knows how long. I don't know what the laws are for suspensions and stuff and who's going to miss 3, if any of them are going to miss 3, or is it just a one-game ban for both of them? I'm not sure. But because Romero got a double booking today, does that mean
2 yellows, or was it
2 yellows?
Or did he give a straight red for the...
I think he gave another yellow.
Okay, so it should be only one game.
So that means one more yellow card and Romero's banned for another 2 games.
Yeah. So he could come back a game. What's the game after Palace?
Brentford, I think.
So he come back at Brentford, get a yellow card and be out for another 2 games.
Yeah. So...
dear.
But look, it's hard for me to talk about steps in the right direction because we did lose this game today. But in terms of, you know, showing some attitude and working for the team and that kind of never say die attitude, I saw that today.
Yeah.
We fell short, of course. But it means nothing unless we go into the next game and show it again. We go into the game after and show it again. And we actually start taking some points and start, building some consistency. Because at this moment in time, we're 13th in the league and we're dropping. You know, we're not looking up, looking down. And that's the frustrating thing so far with Tottenham Hotspur. So we can all commend the spirit that we saw today on the pitch. But at the moment, it's just a one-off game, like the Brentford game was.
Yep.
So
agreed.
I don't know what to think anymore. I think we just need to try and keep a level head and go into the next game, show the same fight. And if we keep 11 men on the pitch, maybe we can take the 3 points.
Yep.
But it doesn't stop there. We've got to keep going and keep going. But right now, we've lost. And it's another loss.
It's a pill to swallow.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a pill to swallow.
But like we kept saying, you know, if we lose and go down with a fighting spirit, it's easier to take than the performances against Nottingham Forest when we lose and you just see no avenue for a win because we're just so shit.
Yep.
At least today we showed something.
Correct. And like I said, I'll echo it again. Thankfully, the fans inside the stadium could actually sense that as well, because we've seen it in previous games where it's flat and obviously we've been, where's the atmosphere? At 2-0 down, at 2-1 down, with 10 men, 9 men, they were there and giving it as much support and backing and making it a loud White Hart Lane for the first time in God knows how long. So the
Big
fans,
up to the fans today.
Exactly. Obviously the home atmosphere gets spoken about a hell of a lot and how quiet it was. But those fans saw something today from the team trying to fight and trying to get back into the game. And when they get noisy, it says something to me, because obviously we've spoken many a time about how quiet that stadium is. It's a fair play to the fans that went today.
All right, so that is our instant match reaction. Spurs have lost 2-1 to Liverpool at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in a game marred by individual errors.
Correct.
red cards and just general stupidness. But yeah, we're going to move on to the fans and see what they have to say. We have got Nate coming on first. Nate, not sure of the colour of the hat, but good to see you, my friend.
Christmas, guys, Christmas. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm just frustrated, man. I'm just really frustrated with the way that game went because I genuinely believe that Spurs were the better team today. How are you feeling about it?
No, I agree. Like, and it's these performances where I'm like, these types of games make me want to give Frank more time. I wish we see this more consistently. We were the better team by far. Like, it wasn't even like really close. I think even when we went down to like 9 men at one point, I still think that we showed a lot of attacking effort. And I think if you look at the chances as a whole, obviously they got the 2 goals, but I think we had more of the more dangerous chances throughout the entire game. And it's just frustrating because I think Frank got this one right. And I've given Frank a lot of criticism this season, and I've been really, really harsh on him. But I got to put my hands up. I can't be mad at him. I just can't, because he got this one right, and the players looked up for it. It's just horrible, horrific decision-making from Xavi and Romero. Just cost us the game, so it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Talk to me about those moments, particularly the Xavi sending off, because I'm seeing a lot of conflicting opinions in terms of whether it was a red card, whether it wasn't a red card. Where are you at with it?
I mean, like, it's the modern game, right? Like, the thing is, don't give the referee that opportunity to even make that decision. That's my thing. Like, the ball was nowhere near the net. I don't even think it was even going to get there anyways. Like, why even go in like that? And with the whole slow motion stuff and how the VAR does their thing, like, they're always going to call that. So my thing is, like, why even give the ref the opportunity to do it? For my honest opinion, I think that's just a strong yellow. I don't think it was a red. And if you go off of what happened to us last season, where Van Dijk went super hard on Solanke last season, and he did so this season against Everton too, it's just like the inconsistency is like, there's no consistency when it comes to the VAR. So off of that alone, that's just a strong yellow to me. I don't think it was a red, but it's still, Xavi's still culpable. That's still on him. Like, don't even give the ref that opportunity to make that decision.
Yeah, completely agree with that. And obviously, Romero gets sent off. Romero gives the ball away for the first goal, which, me and Brian were talking. We were saying up until the moment of him giving the ball away for the first goal, I thought he was putting in such a fantastic display. But as a captain, surely you can't do that, can you?
No, and like, it was weird because I said, like, not like, I think it was like 5 minutes before that, I was like, Romero's actually having a really good game. Like, he's making really good passes, finding players running in behind. Like, he was playing a really good game, being aggressive. And then I think we won the ball back, and like, Romero was saying, like, calm, like, keep it calm. Like, he's going like this, keep it calm. And then 2 seconds later, this guy's passing it to no man's land, and the ball's in our net. So that's just, it's just, you're our captain. You should be leading us, and you cannot be making mistakes like that. I can hear if Burble makes those mistakes. I can hear if Gray makes those mistakes. But you, Romero, are our captain. You should not be doing that. And then to go and kick Konate after you just won the free kick when you're down, it's just like, what are you doing? You're on a yellow. And it's these type of things where I'm like, I hear the whole, like, I get that a lot of the fans think that our players are average or not good at all. And in situations like this that make me like lean more towards that, but at the same time as well, I think there also is like some tactical things in that. But it's just the decision making and the mistakes. It's like, we got to stop the mistakes. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Well, let me just ask you as well, because obviously there's a change up front. Richarlison dropped, rested, whatever you want to call it, whatever buzzword you want to use, after a poor performance at Notts Forest, like many of the players were. Mawani goes up top. People have wanted to be able to see Mawani play centrally and see what he can offer. Obviously, we'd seen what he'd offered on the wing. What do you make of his performance? He had that one header, didn't he? But apart from that, I actually can't remember Mawani doing anything.
I mean, he had that little run where he took the shot and like it deflected up and off the crossbar. Like, I think Mawani was still threatening because his speed is a killer. So like, I think he does offer a lot. I just think the standards are so low, guys. Like, let's just be real. All of our strikers, I can say this like hand on heart, our strikers are shit. They're all just really shit. I can't lie. Even though Richie's getting the goals, our strikers are shit. The standards are so low for our strike force, and we need to address that as soon as we can. Because one moment you're gonna have Richie scoring a goal, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, Richie's back, he needs to start." And then the next moment you're gonna have Mwani doing the exact same thing. It's gonna keep cycling and cycling. And now we're calling for Dane Scarlett. Now we're calling for Tell. It's like, and now we're calling for Solanke as well. Which I remember last season as well. We were also slating Solanke at some points. So the standard is so low, and this is where we have to upgrade in these positions where the standards are so low and the players are like genuinely shit. That's the problem.
No, I mean, it's hard to disagree with that, to be honest. But to be fair, Richarlison, I thought when he came on, I thought he was brilliant in the cameo that he did have.
Yeah.
But it's too few and far between. That's what I keep saying. Like him and Bentancur, you know, it's one game up, one game down, and like the lows are so low and the highs are like, you know, they're decent. But
and this is where this. Sorry,
no,
I was going to say like this is where I'm like I hear like guys like Danny that are saying that like the players are shit, because if you're gonna have the inconsistency, like that most likely means that the players are not good enough to keep up the standard of the levels. That's where I'm like, okay, like I hear that. And I've actually looked at the squad, like I think on paper they're better, but they're not consistent enough. So what is that down to? Either it's the manager's not doing something right and getting them up for the game, or they're actually just not that good. But at the same time, majority of these players are the exact same players that finished 5th 2 seasons ago. So it's so tough.
Nate, but where I'm at with it is I don't think these players are world beaters. They're not unbelievable players that should be fighting, you know, and be favourites for top 4. But what I do think they are is a team and a squad that should be in the top 7, no questions asked. Like, surely, like we're not that bad to be where we're at right now, where we're at.
Well,
as a squad,
even top 7, because like what you have like Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, and then you're gonna have Villa that are on like a heater right now. I mean, you could throw a Newcastle there. I know they're not playing well right now, but they have some killers in there. I mean, maybe top 7, maybe 8th. I hear that, but I don't know. It's just for me. It's just I think there's like a lack of also a star player. Like we lost Son, obviously no Kane. I think there's also the lack of like a killer world class star in that squad that also like doesn't help us either. So. But it's tough. Like, it's slim pickings.
Go on.
No, I was just saying, like, it's slim pickings, like, in terms of the squad, in terms of the quality. So,
talk to me about the second goal Liverpool scored. In my opinion, it was a foul on Romero. 2 hands on him, pushing him in the back. Was it a foul, or should Romero be stronger at that point?
I think Romero was looking for it, but this goes back into the whole, like, consistency of the VAR and all that stuff. Like, if you're gonna have 2 hands on the man's back, that's gonna be a foul. Because I've seen that get called against us multiple times. That happens to us all the time. Like where our players go up to head the ball. I've seen that happen to Romero too. Like where he goes and jumps over the ball and he pushes someone, and then that's a foul. So like, where is the consistency in the VAR? For me, that's a foul. Especially if we're doing the whole freeze frame slow motion stuff. If you're gonna freeze frame that in slow motion, that is a foul. It's ridiculous. And I hate like putting things on the ref because I think it like obfuscates from the responsibilities of the players and the manager. But this one was horrendous, guys. This one was horrendous.
Yeah. And look, I get what you're saying about, you know, hate talking about refereeing decisions. But in terms of the players, I thought by and large, they actually performed today, didn't they?
Agreed.
Yeah. And like I said, like at the top, like these type of games make me want to give Thomas, Frank, and the squad like more time, because as mad as I am that we lost, I can also take something away from this because we actually played well. And the fans in the stadium also understood that. That's why they were cheering them.
Correct.
Like, I hate how sometimes in press conferences, Thomas Frank just gives us like little to no credit, like we don't know anything. Like, we know when our team plays well. We know when our players are playing good. Not every single player, obviously Javi and Romero, but most of the players out there gave an honest effort today, and we all saw that. And I respect them a lot for that. This is the most balls that I've seen them show all season. So
exactly. I mean, I'll agree with you. I mean, Frank in his press conference hasn't been the greatest. I don't like it when he talks about the fans. I don't like what he said in yesterday's press conference where he said the loyal fans that are behind me. All Spurs fans are behind Spurs. They are silly things he should be saying, and he's putting unnecessary heat on him for coming out with these things. But like you said, If this had been another Nottingham Forest performance, I would have given him both barrels. I'd have said, "What are you doing? You are literally hanging yourself." But like you said, today was about a performance. People wanted to see a performance. Yes, it might have not been like Brentford free-flowing, attacking chance after chance after chance. But what you did see today was effort, desire, passion, and a willingness to run their hearts out to try and get that result. So I agree, he's got to change what he is saying in press conferences. But I think the biggest thing is, we go back to January. January is a big month for him and Enoch. Like you said, we got to get a striker, we got to get a midfielder, we need to get a left winger, we need to get a left back. We all know we're not going to do this in one January window. It is a vital time we're going into. But like you said, today on today's performance, I won't say a bad word about Frank today. Not a bad word.
Yeah.
Did against Forest, and people go, "Oh yeah, Brian, because you're copium with Frank and you love Frank." Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And do I think he can get it right? Yes, I still do. And performances like that,
what's made you like believe that though? Like take out this performance. Like what's made you like actually like genuinely said like, yes, we should give Frank more time.
Right. So I'll give it. I've been waiting for someone to say something. As we look at it, let's go back to Mauricio Pochettino. Pochettino had done nothing at Espanyol, did very well at Southampton, did very well with a great crop of English youngsters. He came in. No one was going, "Oh well, he was a Southampton manager." How is this? Yeah. The way we go and buy players and have scouted players like your Dele Alli or players from the lower league that have come in, is by seeing them do very, very well at their previous club and doing things that was highly unexpected of what they did. Thomas Frank had the run of everything at Brentford, sorry. He controlled everything. But what I'm saying is he is 4 months into his Premier League status with Spurs. He needs time. He needs a window. So much has changed at this club. Yes, performances need to change. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Wholeheartedly. But if the team give everything like they gave today, that's what I want to see. Does he deserve a January window?
Though. Like,
go on, Nate.
No, but I'm saying like that's the problem though, because we haven't we can point out like maybe like Man City, maybe like Copenhagen, but like it's Copenhagen, and then maybe this game too. Like the games are so far few in between, like where we see these type of performances on a consistent basis. And then when it comes to Brentford as well, if you look at the table right now, Brentford is still kicking on. Like Frank ain't there, and Brentford is still kicking on.
Correct.
Maybe Frank wasn't as. I'm not gonna try to take so much away from him. I will give him the credit, but like maybe there's something to be said about how the club is run as a whole, not just
Brentford are
how
brilliantly.
Frank was.
Brentford are run brilliantly. Their chairman is incredible, and then you look at what we've had to deal with for years, and all the change and everything from this summer. At the moment, everything at this football club is new, from the director's box to the head of recruitment, to the manager, to players coming in, to the training regime. Everything is new. Everything. Yeah. For the first time at Tottenham Hotspur, everything at the football club right now has been a blank canvas. Does he deserve time? I will give it to him. If he doesn't get it, so be it. I'm a Spurs fan over a Frank fan.
What has he done to earn that, though? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what has he done to actually earn that?
Because I believe he's the right man for the job. From what I've seen at Brentford, where he was given time,
at Spurs though. I'm trying to do a little bit like just at Spurs.
Mate, there's been certain performances, like you mentioned, the ones you look at the Brighton away. You look at there are certain games. The PSG at the first game. He needs to do that consistently. He needs to do it more, Nate. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. But I've backed every single Spurs manager that we've ever hired. Every one of them. The only time I turned was 18 months into last manager's reign. So if people think I'm going to turn on this guy, since he's been appointed in June, had the team for the Premier League since August, not a goddamn chance am I going to change and flip. I give managers a season minimum. And like I said, I've never turned, apart from like I did on Ange after 18 months, which people conveniently forget. And I will give this manager time, especially with everything that's going around the club that is brand new. Everything. No other manager has had this, where they've come into a Tottenham team and everything from top to bottom has changed.
but then we're still left feeling like the exact same way after all these performances.
Yes, but,
and,
I keep saying it's 4 months into his Premier League reign.
yeah,
4 months.
I hear that, but like for me, it's just like Ange had the first 10 games. Conte has had his amazing run to get us in the Champions League. Like, I haven't seen, for even more than 3 games, I haven't seen Frank really impose his will to say that, yes, we should give him more time. I haven't seen anything. And then if you look at also the style of play, I still don't even know what his style of play is. I still don't know. And we're almost into the new year. I don't know what his philosophy is at this current point. And I think if you ask multiple Spurs fans, I think they'll give you different answers because we don't know. And that's my biggest thing. Ange had credit in the bank because of the first 10 games. Conte had his thing as well with the Champions League stuff. Frank, the only reason why he's been giving time is because
we got
he's new to the
nowhere else
job.
to turn.
And there's no one else. There's no one else to turn. Yeah, there's no one else. So that's my thing. Like, I'm not saying that we should sack him. I'm not saying that, even though I'm really tired, I'm not saying that we should sack him. But I'm saying that just based off of the merit of the fact that there's no tangible reason why he should be given time. There's no objective reason why, besides the fact that he's new to the job and there's no one else. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's it right there, though. Like, I agree with you, Nate. There is no evidence to suggest that we should be sticking with him, but we're both saying that we should keep him. So if we're saying that we should keep him, then we got to back him.
Yeah, and I do back him. I do. Unfortunately, I do. But it's just frustrating because. Actually, no, I'm not gonna pull the Ange thing out right now. But
don't do that.
But listen, man, I just think that either way, I think that he did well in this game, and if he can just do this next game against Crystal Palace, and do it the game after that, then we can start to see something.
Absolutely spot on. So look, let's see how it progresses. But decent performance today. Unfortunately, on the wrong side of the result. But Nate, thank you for coming on today, mate.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
See you later, bro.
Big up to Nate. We are 16 minutes in to the game at Goodison Park. It is 0-0, and it looks as though that Everton are the ones asking all the questions at this moment in time. So maybe Everton can save our day today. But let's move on and let's bring Hardy on.
Big up, Hardy.
How you doing, mate?
Doing all right. Doing a lot better than after the last performance.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of main points that I want to hit on. I think Frank is finally starting to tweak the attacking style a lot more over the last couple of weeks than he did in the first part of the season. Like, I think at first he was really trying to focus on getting the build-up and the defense, like defensive patterns figured out. And I think you saw the lineups have been relatively similar in terms of formation over the last few games. And I think, especially today, honestly, I think we created a lot more open play chances even when it was 11 versus 11 than we have previously. Granted, none of them came off and we didn't score from any of them, but it's refreshing to see someone actively tweaking the system a little bit. And I know obviously we lost, but still I feel like we created the more chances than Liverpool did today, especially.
Yeah. Where are you at with some of the key decisions on the pitch today? Xavi Simmons being the first one.
I think the Simmons one was a clear-cut red card, especially in today's game. I do feel like, though, he wasn't trying to obviously tear down Van Dijk's leg. I feel like you could see him patting his feet to slow down, to break down in front of the guy to play defense. And I think his foot came out and got him on the back of the leg. He should absolutely be sent off for that. That was reckless. But, it's one where I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's going to be like a huge problem. I don't think it's going to be a recurring thing. And then we come to the other red card where it's, it seems like Cootie, like everyone was saying, and I echo it, like he seemed like mentally, he seemed fired up for it. And you saw the positives of that and you saw the negatives of that today perfectly, I think.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. Because I thought up until the moment where he gave away that goal, I thought he was literally a 9 out of 10. I thought he was unbelievable for us. Playing these line-breaking passes, his playing out the back was fantastic. He was toeing the line of being just at that right aggressive level where he was just defending unbelievably well for us. And then it just went downhill from there, from that pass, didn't it?
I think, obviously it was a bad. I don't think the pass itself was a bad decision. I think it was a miss. Like, I think he mishit it, because if you see right behind, who was it? Was that Ezekiel that intercepted it?
Yeah.
You see right behind him. I think it was Bergvall was running into space, and we would have had a really good break on. You just got to execute the pass a lot better. But that being said, that seems to be the story of our season so far. Like the Chelsea game, I think it was Van de Ven made a bad pass that led to the goal. The Forest game, there was 2 or 3 mistakes. The Arsenal game, there was 2 or 3 mistakes. It seems like, the last month and a half, 2 months of the season, it's just been very mistake prone at the back. And part of me wonders if it's, we're putting a lot of pressure on them to create, which I think will be helped a lot when we get Kulusevski back in the next, 4 weeks?
I don't know about that, mate.
Nope.
I think it's going to be longer than that.
I don't know. I think whenever we get him back, I think we'll see a massive improvement in our ability to retain possession in the middle of the field. Because, we just can't do it at the moment, it seems like.
I think what you got to realise about Kulusevski, he's had a major knee injury. And even when we do get him back training with the lads, to get him back to full fitness, match fitness, and performing at the levels which we know he can be, I think it's going to be a very long time, unfortunately.
Can I just add to that as well? I think what we've got to look at as well is players like him and Solanke. We keep saying when they come back, when they come back, when they come back. But every time they seem to be getting closer, they are having a setback. And then we're sitting here going, okay, but when they come back, I think Spurs have to look at this now and say it's all well and good when they come back.
Yeah.
But Spurs need to have someone there to give them competition for their places to say, listen, we're not relying. This is not what I'm saying about you, Hardy. This is, again, going back to Enoch and what Spurs need to address the situation. We need to stop thinking when he's back, or when Maddison's back. Maddison won't be back till next season. We need replacements in now that can impact the game and impact the squad. So when a Kulu comes back, when a Solanke comes back, they could be eased in, and it could be another string to our bow to help the squad, rather than just sitting here week after week, month after month, window after window, saying when this one's back and when this one's back.
It honestly reminds me of the situation that Man City found themselves in last year, where it was when Rodri comes back and when Foden starts playing better, and it's they didn't rest on that. They didn't wait for that. They went out and signed
exactly
and promoted from within, and I think we need in January, I want to say left wing, but I don't want to see another situation with Semenyo where we get, he's going to sign. Oh, he went somewhere else. I think I've heard a lot of rumors about Ivan Toney. I think that would be huge for us up front. Because, like he was saying, Moani and Richie, it's up one game, it's down the next. They're dovetailing, but at the same time, it's you've got to find some, the last time we were competitive in the league, go look at that team versus what we are now. It's an insane gulf in talent, especially in the midfield and the attacking department.
Yeah. You're definitely not wrong, particularly in the attacking department, in my opinion. But the other decision I wanted to talk to you about was their second goal. Romero, in my opinion, gets shoved in the back with two arms. Should it have been a goal or not?
It was 100%. I think, especially after what you've seen the last, the Newcastle game. I think if you're going to give the penalty for the Newcastle game, you have to give the foul here. And I also think that, I think Romero jumped as soon as he kicked the ball. And I think that deflection threw him off, which is why he was lower than Ekitike, but that's a separate point. He still got pushed. It should have been a foul. Shouldn't have been a goal. And I also think that by that point in the game, we probably, you saw my super chat going into halftime. We should have been 1 or 2-0 up in the first half. I mean, that Mwani chance was fantastic. It all comes down to almost similar to what we had going under Ange, where it's like, if we can get somebody that's super clinical at the 9, then the goals will start to come, because that's not the first time, and it won't be the last time that Mwani or Richarlison miss a sitter, right? And even if we started converting, 50% of those chances, that would be a huge jump in goal output and points output and whatnot. Because I think today we finally seemed like we were a team, right? I think prior to this, especially the Nottingham Forest performance, it seemed like it was just 11 players on the field that happened to be wearing the same shirt. Today it looked like it was a real team performance. Even before the red card, it looked like we had a plan and we were executing it very well,
Does that give you hope moving forward? Because we have seen that before against Brentford. We put in that team performance and then we churned out what we churned out against Nottingham Forest last week.
I think it gives you a building block, and I'm completely with Daigle on. If we sack him, who else is there? But even saying that, it took what? Poch didn't have Poch won games in his first half of the season, but it wasn't like, there was no real spark of a performance until about this time under him too, if I remember correctly, right?
The difference was, though, we could see what we were trying to do, at least at that stage under Pochettino. He had a Harry Kane. And also, remember, he brought up, because he got rid of some bad eggs and some experience, he brought up Ryan Mason and Nabil Bentaleb to add some engine and some energy and some youth into that midfield. You look at the team he had then, we all know the team, I'm not going to go through it, the defence, Dembele, the filth had just scored a penalty. But there were quality players in there. Right now, like you said, and I'll go back to something you said against Forest when we were doing the post-match. You said it's just a group of individuals just trying to do things, and we're hoping that one of these individuals can turn it on. And like Hardy just said, today it wasn't an individual performance, was it? The individuals we would have thought could have done something let us down, and the team performed.
And I think I prefer to be a positive, hey, let's look at the good stuff versus the bad. And don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of bad under Frank. There's also been a decent amount of good. But at the same time, I think if we perform like we did today in every match, I think we would win more than we don't. Because, I think, especially we've seen a lot this season, I think if all of our players play, average, to me, an average performance is 5 out of 10, right? You don't impact the game going forward, and you don't hurt the team. You don't positively impact the team. You don't hurt the team. Mm-hmm. I think if we have, if Romero plays neutral football today, I think we win that game. I think if Xavi plays neutral football, we win that game. I think the biggest thing is we have to stop having those negative performances from our key players. And I think the results will come. You know what I'm saying? I just think if you can get everybody playing 5, 6 out of 10 football, and then you can get Kudus or Richie or Xavi having an 8 or a 9 out of 10 game, you're going to win more than you don't. And I think you see that with you see that with Arsenal, you see that with Man City, you see that with Chelsea, to an extent when they're winning games. It's not, because everybody on the team is on fire. It's, they have the key players. And I think we have way less key players than they do. And I think that's the problem.
The problem I have with that a bit is that, we're just not
And I don't even think it's a personnel thing. I mean, it is a personnel thing, but I think it's mainly the tactical setup that we have had for the majority of the season, where we can't even get shots on target in some games. The XG is just way too low, and you've got teams like Burnley who are creating more chances than us in the last 5 games and higher XG, which I think is just crazy. And that's got to be on tactical setup, because we got better players than Burnley. Let's be honest.
Yep.
100%. I think we're probably, realistically speaking, talent-wise, I think we are similar levels to like Villa. I think we're better than Forest talent-wise. I think we're in that 6 to 8, 6 to 10 range of talent. But I think also look at Frank under like when he started at Brentford. I mean, it was horrible. They didn't win their first a game out of their first 10, I think. And and after that, they only won out of their first 15. I think they won 2, maybe 3 games. Like, Frank's system is, and I know there's not necessarily a set pattern of play, but you can also see the set formation when we are pinning them back. It's not wide wingers. It's a fullback provides width on the left. Kudus is on the right. You have the left winger, which would be Xavi, dropping into the left-sided, the left-hand half space, and then you have Bergvall on the right hand of that. I think if you can upgrade one position to help that, I think it would either be at striker or it would be another midfielder to distribute the ball to those players instead of having a guy like Bentancur or Gray or a Palhinha, who I think Gray has can grow into that type of player. I don't think he's quite there yet. He's still young, obviously, but I think Bentancur and Palhinha, I don't think they have the quality to get in there. I don't know how to fix that. And that's where the manager comes in. It's his job to fix it.
Yeah.
Great.
Do you have faith he can fix it?
I think he can. I also think that he can't. He can't be out there on the field making the decisions for them. I think he has to get the way the system has to change. Is he has to get them better. He has to get better angles for the passes, if that makes sense. We have to start moving teams from left to right very quickly to open up those avenues to go in. And I think you saw that a little bit, especially under the first, 10 games under Ange. Everyone always goes back to that. You saw we were moving it from left to right very quickly and able to cut inside. We just haven't seen that. And I do think it is coming, but I think if we keep playing like we did today, I think the problems will fix themselves.
Well, let's hope this can be another turning point, because I've said a turning point so many times this season. But let's hope this is the real one. But Hardy, thank you for coming on, mate.
Cheers, Hardy.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Quick update. Arsenal are 1-0 up with Victor Gyökeres from the spot. I don't know what O'Brien was doing. He was up in the air like this. And it gets given
me there. I was like, well, fight done now.
O'Brien. O'Brien.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, O'Brien. I hear that so many times.
You're the reason Arsenal got one.
Definitely. Oh, it might be Thomas Frank's fault.
Yeah, maybe.
It might be.
All right, let's go to our next guest. And look what the cat has dragged in. Mr. Danny Kyriakou.
Big up, Danny, brother.
How are we doing, Danny?
I'm good. I'm all right, mate. I'm quite happy because I didn't really get to watch the first half too much. I saw it in bits. I was out. But I did watch the second half, and I thought we started playing even better when we went down to 10 men, and then we still were playing very well considering we went down to 9 men. Yeah. So I was listening to Nate and I was listening to you guys just before in your post-match.
Oh, here we go.
No. Listen, right? I'm not gonna. Maybe I'll try it another way by talking calmly. You might actually listen without actually hearing screaming and get aggression. So I'll try it like this.
Danny Kyriakou, chance. Let's give it a go.
I can be calm. I just like to do it for show. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so with you kind of said it, Ben. You were like, Richie came on, and you both were kind of alluding to the fact that these players, 1 minute they can play one game, they're up, one game they're down. I think you said that you were talking about Bentancur, right? And some of the other players, and Richarlison, right? So when you take that point into account, right? For me, this is exactly why the players are average footballers. Because for me, what I define as a good footballer is someone who can produce those levels that we expect them to produce on a consistent basis, right? If
Correct.
players can't produce that on a consistent basis, then to me they are average footballers. Because what makes a good footballer and a top footballer stand out, the top footballers are the ones who've got everything in abundance, right? But the good footballers are the ones who have got a bit of everything, but they do it on a bit more of a consistent basis. And for me, the reason why we are where we are, and we have been the last couple of years, is because of the quality of footballers we have at this football club, right? I saw today that no one can say that was Frank's fault why we lost that game today. Like,
Agreed.
no one can say that, right?
Agreed.
So why is it that when we go down to 10 men, the team starts to play one-touch football and they're trying to play very quickly, they're moving around, they're fast, they're trying to really get the goal down? That's because the players don't want to play like that on a consistent basis, because it's too high energy. You have to put 100% effort, 100% concentration, 100% like determination in everything you do. That's just even in passing, you're running, you're tracking back, everything, right?
So why did they want to do it with 10 men and not 11? And by the way, when we did have 11 men, I still thought we were slightly the better team.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, right? But this is the thing is, Ben, these players, I'm trying to make you understand why I feel they are average footballers, because they pick and choose when they feel like playing well and when they feel like they don't want to put the effort in, right? Today they played well, right? And we didn't really deserve that result, if we're being honest. But if you look at the games that we have played badly, a lot of the times it's because the players just don't want to turn up, right? And for me, you can't blame the manager on players not wanting to go out and play, right? I truly believe that we actually, me and big up to
It's a bit of both, though, Danny. Though, isn't it? It's a bit of both. It's not just. It's not just about the players. It's also the way we've been tactically set up for the majority of the season. Because you look at last season under Ange Postecoglou, for a period where we had 13 injuries, we created more chances in those games than we're doing now. Where we have, I know Maddison and Kulusevski have been out, and that's a big thing. Fair enough.
And Solanke. Yeah,
and Solanke. But by and large, we have a much bigger squad than we did in that moment where we were playing 13 games
No.
13 players.
Let's get the
13,
truth.
This is the truth. That is the truth.
No, we have a better defense this time round. We don't have a better attack. You just said it yourself, Ben. We don't have Maddison and Kulu.
I said more players at his disposal.
In attack.
Pardon?
In attack. We're worse off at the moment in attack.
Fine, we're worse off because of those three players, right?
Right.
But first of all, Kulusevski was playing every single week and he was being run into the ground. He didn't show the levels that he showed in the first part of the season.
Right.
Maddison was performing, okay. He was always up and down as well. We have Javi now. We have Muani now. We have Tell, who we didn't have at that stage of the season. We have Odebear, who we didn't have then either because he was injured all season. So it's give and take.
Yeah, but Ben, again, you're not looking at context, right? And this is what really annoys me.
I just exactly looked at the context.
So shall I tell you the context then, Ben? Because that's not context, right?
Why is it not context?
Just
tell
by
me why.
what you said.
Why is that not context?
Well, let me say it then. Are you going to let me say it?
Yeah, but tell me why first.
I'm going to tell you why, right? So context, right? This season. Last season, right, we had 67 goals and 48 assists from 5 players alone across the season, right? Mm-hmm. That was Son with 11 goals and 11 assists in all comps.
We've been through this.
I know, I'm going to go for it, right? Kulusevski, 10 goals and 11 assists, right? Mm-hmm. Solanke, 16 goals and 8 assists. James Maddison, 12 goals and 11 assists. Johnson, 18 goals and 7 assists, right? Now, 4 of those 5 players I've just mentioned are not playing due to not being at the club or injured. Now,
Correct.
when you look at the statistics of Richarlison last season, right, and you look at Odegaard and Kudus and Tell, it is night and day. Richarlison last season in all competitions had 5 goals and 2 assists. So now you've taken out Son, Kulu, Maddison and Solanke. How do you expect Thomas Frank or any manager to replicate creativity when your most creative players have been taken out the team? It makes no sense whatsoever that Tottenham fans like yourself think that we can be more creative when our most creative outlets from all of last season have been taken out this team. And then you brought in someone like Mohamed Kudus, who, if you look at his statistics last season, right, he was on, I'll tell you exactly, he was on 5 goals and 4 assists last season, right? He's already nearly bettered that this season, which goes to show that he's just a very good player, right? Just playing in a bad team, right? Last season. If you look at who's the other players? Muani and Xavi Simmons have never played Premier League football, and Muani has hardly been available to select this season due to injuries. So how can fans sit here and say that we should be more creative and creating more chances when pretty much our majority of our creativity last season has not in this squad and we haven't replaced it? How can you sit there and say that? Honestly, tell me.
Tell me a reason why Burnley are creating more chances than us in the last 5 games.
Burnley?
Yeah.
Where did Burnley finish last season?
Top of the Championship.
Right. Where did we finish last season, Ben?
17th in the Premier League.
And we've taken out our most attacking players, and we expect what? The newest players to come in and create more than what those players are doing right now, Burnley. And just remember, we're not at the end of the season yet. You know,
So
we're
you're
only
telling me Burnley have better attacking options than us?
I think they can create more chances. I think our midfield is a joke.
Can you even name me who Burnley's front 3 are?
Probably not.
Exactly. So how can you say they've got better attacking options now?
Yeah, but you're not just talking about the attack. You're talking about midfielders as well, Ben. Right?
Yeah.
So I was on the spotlight on Spurs. So Luke, big up to Luke as well, man. On his show the other day, and we went through with Billy T and a few others the actual level of the squad right now. And if you compare our strikers, our attackers, and our number 10s and our central midfielders, on average we're like sitting at 10th in the Premier League, right? And a lot of the players in our squad, we rated them as an overall below a 13th level club. So we've got 1 or 2 or 3 players who should be playing at a higher level or could be playing at a better club, right? But the rest of them, they don't. So this is what I'm trying to make people understand.
But I agree with that. Right.
So, but the thing is, Ben, you can understand, okay, to an extent, yeah, there is an issue with how Frank is not creating chances with what he's got. But I've told these people before, and I've told you guys before, I honestly believe that's because Frank doesn't trust those players. Because I feel if he tries to go more creative and opens the team up more, we are going to get battered more often than not.
We are getting battered more often.
But we're not. But hold on. How are we getting battered more than not? We played better than Liverpool. You just said we played better than Liverpool, but yet we lost 2-1. How's that getting battered?
Last week we lost 3-0 to Nottingham Forest, who was sitting 17th.
Okay. What about today?
Today was good performance.
And also, let's go on to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are only 17th.
Please don't, Danny. I'm trying to raise
yeah,
that
but
from my memory.
Brian, Nottingham Forest are only 17th because they had Ange at the beginning of the season, who lost pretty much every game.
Right.
And they've now gone nine games and 1 defeat in 9 games under Sean Dyche.
No,
they have.
No, they
have
haven't.
A check.
Well,
it's 9 games they haven't been defeated.
Before we played them, they'd lost 2 out of their last 3.
In the Premier League.
In the Premier League, yeah.
They lost to Everton.
So why was that stat on Sky Sports then?
I don't know.
God knows.
Okay,
I think,
well,
Danny,
I'm just reading. I'm going by Sky Sports.
Danny,
so.
I think what you got to look at it as well, and it comes back to this, like I said about not creating, it's clear we need a Conor Gallagher, a Ruben Neves type player in the midfield to get the ball forward quicker, would revolutionise what we've got going forward. It's clear we need a left winger. It's absolutely clear. That was the issue going into this season after the window closed. It's clear we need a goal. We need a ruthless striker. I can say, and so can many others, whether you support Frank, Ange, whatever, my whole Spurs life, Spurs have had a striker that you just knew would get 15, 20 goals, or be able to have one chance, one goal, done. A ruthless predator that would get the goals needed and could dig Spurs out of a game. We don't have it. We've got Spence. We've got Spence having to play left back or right back because Destiny can't stay fit. There are key elements missing in this. There is a lot to do. Frank should be getting better in some games. I mean, Forest, I completely agree. It was all on him and needs to get more out of it. But there are key components that we are clearly missing that Spurs have had in previous. We go all back in the history. Every Spurs fan that's in the chat or non-Spurs fan that's in the chat now can go back over Spurs past teams and say, do you know what? There's a player in that team, a Ginola, a Bow, a Klinsmann, a Sheringham. You could go back and say that there is a Lineker, a Gaza, a Waddle, a Hoddle. There isn't that now. We are missing key components and they need to be addressed. But like you said, anyone that's blaming Frank for today has clearly got an agenda. Clearly just wants to...
I agree. I agree, Brian. And I think there's a lot of things that can be changed, and no one is saying that we can't blame Frank for how the season has gone. But I just
agreed.
What I see, right, is a manager who, let's be honest, right, he was a sideways step from Ange Postecoglou. For me, I never wanted Frank in the first place, but he's here, and what I have seen, we haven't seen him produce what Spurs fans want him to produce in such a short time, which is things like patterns of play, a style and identity. But the truth is, I think it's very evident and clear to see for everyone that he doesn't know what that is yet, right? I think that's clear, right? Now, we can have an argument and a debate whether or not then why have we hired him? That's a different scenario. But he is here, and we have to talk about why I think he is making the decisions he's making. And personally, I think that is because there's about 5 or 6 players in that squad, I think, maybe 7, that he at this moment in time trusts, who is the first names that he'd like to put on the team sheet majority of the time, right? It's evident that Muani is one of them. It's evident, I think, Xavi Simons is becoming one of them. Romero, Van der Ven, Spence, Vicario, and Bentancur. They're the ones who usually will play, right?
Porro,
right? But I also believe Frank knows who in that squad is not up to the standards of where a Tottenham footballer should be at.
Looks
right?
like Archie Gray is one of them now as well.
Well, it could be for the time being, but we all know that these players, and a lot of them, you can't. They're inconsistent, right? They are inconsistent. So we need a lot more talent in that squad to bring the levels up of the players that they play with.
Nobody disagrees with that.
I don't think, Ben. I think personally, Frank has looked at what happened last season when Ange tried to play expansive football, and I feel he is being pragmatic, because if he tries to do that, I think in his mind he's thinking the same scenario might happen again. Rather than actually have a chance of drawing games or winning games, we're going to just be losing all the time and playing good and better football, right? We might create more chances, but we're probably going to lose more often than not. And I can guarantee you, Ben, this is where fans are fickle, right? Because right now, fans are saying we should be playing better football, we should be doing more than what we can do, we should be creating more chances. I guarantee you any money, right? If we start doing that, and we're just hypothetical, we start doing that and we start going on a run where we are losing literally every game to everyone, and you can't say that right now because we've lost a couple of games in a row. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7 games in a row, drawing, like how it was with Ange last season, right? If that happens, the fans will be like, why are we playing expansive football? We can't do it. They will change the tone so quickly, and that's exactly what football fans are like.
Danny, we've won 2 or 3 games in the last 3 months.
How many in the Premier League have we won?
3 since Leeds in the 2 international breaks ago.
It's bad, but I want to ask you, Ben, what do you think he can do right now with what he's got available to make it better? Like, what can he do? Because today showed, right, that the players, if they want to, they can turn up, but they can't do it on a consistent basis because, number one, there's a lot of games we're playing every week. We're playing 2 to 3 games a week at the moment. We will be anyway. And how do we expect a manager to manage when he's basically his whole attack has been dismantled from last season, and he's working with players who are brand new or who have not played in this league before and or have just come back from injury, and are trying to find the patterns and the team that actually works. But because the players are so inconsistent, he's struggling to find a consistent team that he wants to pick. And I think the team that played today is what you're starting to see on a more consistent basis, just like we saw against Forest and just like we saw in the previous match as well.
But Danny, I don't disagree with you in terms of the attack, right? In terms of the quality of players that we have in the attack. That's, I think, is our weakest spot in our team. We talk about the quality that we have in defence. Frank has come in, he's talked about defensive solidity, he says clean sheets matter, all this kind of stuff, right? I'm not seeing that on the pitch. I'm seeing a team that is still very open at the back. And I want to know why are we still very open at the back? Why are we conceding still
totally fair.
so many chances? Similar level of chances that we conceded under Ange Postecoglou, who played gung-ho attacking football. If you're saying that he doesn't trust these players and we want to go defence first, why are we not seeing that on the pitch in terms of the chances that we're conceding?
Because I think he's trying. I think Hardy said it before. I think he's trying to implement a more attacking philosophy to the style of football that we're playing, right? I think today showed it. We had 15 shots to Liverpool's 8 shots or something like that, right? So we had double the amount of shots nearly they had, and that's probably the most we've had in a while in a game, right? So I think he is trying to implement that, but he's trying to find the right balance, and I think it just takes a bit of time. Like I never said that Frank's going to be the manager who could go and win us the Champions League or win us a Premier League or challenge for top 4. I think he's a top 6, 7 manager. That's what I think. But we won't know until he's given the backing to see what he can really do. Like, none of us know, right? We just don't. But I understand that fans will judge it based on what they've seen right now, but still, it's very hard to judge that when it's not his players, right? We all know Frank wants players who work hard, who fight. He wants those type of players, right? And I think when you get more of those players in a team, you'll see a team perform at a higher level. And I just don't think on a consistent basis our team can do that, especially when you're managing Champions League football. I think the best thing for Frank would have been, I'm not joking, not us in the Champions League this season, because for him to work on his styles of play, his patterns, his training, I think he needs a whole week on the training ground. And look what happened when he had a whole week on the training ground. We might have lost the game today, but we played better than Liverpool, right? And that's because he had a whole week on the training ground to actually implement more of his ideas and his styles and train on the things he wanted to train. And I think that's a massive part of a manager coming into a football club and trying to restructure everything, including the culture, right? So it's going to take time. And look, I've never said once that I think Frank's the man to turn it around, but I do think eventually he will do better than what we are seeing. And I think it all depends on what happens in January too, and bar that we don't get any other major injuries. And because today Romero and Xavi Simmons, just for me, it's why I have questions on Romero, because as much as he is a good defender, you can't be doing shit like that. Like, you just can't. And Xavi Simmons, it was unfortunate, but you've seen them given in the modern day, right? I watched it back again, and look, you shouldn't be doing that type of tackle, right? And it's unfortunate, and also I think you guys mentioned it as well. I do believe that Ekatike, that was a foul on Romero. It again, you've seen them given, and you haven't seen them given, but he did push him and he did out. So and it's funny that a lot of other pundits I heard saying that it was a foul, and then the Liverpool pundits, of course, saying no, that's not a foul. That's not a foul. Of course, that they'd be saying that, but look, I just think that we just need a bit more. I know that it's hard, right? Because we haven't really won a lot of games in the last couple months. I know we beat Brentford, but you can see, like in the Brentford game and today's game, that he's trying to implement a bit more of an attacking style, right? And I think he is holding the brakes off, and I do think we'll see a different Tottenham come the second half of the season if we can get the players in that they have targeted, right? I think it'll be very different, and I think the key areas this window is your central midfield. It's imperative that we get a central midfielder who can play, who's a ball playing midfielder, and a left winger who can score goals. So whether that's a Lookman or whoever else, because unfortunately, when you do take out that creativity, we might have players right now who have got good quality, but they aren't producing at the levels that the players that we had last season were producing. And that's saying something, because we still ended up finishing 17th last year, right? Because we never found the balance between the attack and defense. I think Frank's struggling to find that too, right? And I think that's partly him, but it's also the quality we have.
All right, Danny.
Okay. Big up, Danny, bro.
Danny, thanks for coming on today, bro.
Big up,
And
boys. Yeah, one more thing. Ben, XG is an absolutely fraudulent statistic, because Liverpool had an XG higher than Spurs today. Spurs had an XG higher than Liverpool today, and we still lost the game. So at the end of the day, the result is what always matters. That's why XG is a fraudulent statistic.
XG's not there to tell you the scoreline. The scoreline's there to tell you the scoreline.
It's expected goals for the chances you have. But guess what, Ben? We still lost the match. So on that note, XG is the most fraudulent statistic
Danny,
in
it's a
football
metric
ever created.
Rubbish
Actually,
it's
rubbish
a
metric.
Danny, it's a metric to tell you how good the quality of chances that you had were. You don't have to put them in the back of the net. And,
okay, but
wait,
you love going on XG, don't you? You love XG.
Wait, Daddy. And also, we all agreed on this panel that Spurs played better than Liverpool today, and Spurs won the XG battle. We just didn't put the ball in the back of the net.
But we lost the game. So we didn't get any points. And that's what matters at the end of the day, Ben. Which is why I couldn't give a shit about XG.
Whether you give a shit about it or not, by come the end of the season, XG will always win. Danny, thank you for coming in today.
Big up, boys.
See you later, brother.
I'll see you.
Big up to Daddy Kyriakou. A quick update at half-time. Leeds are beating Crystal Palace 2-0. Dominic Calvert-Lewin getting both goals.
He's on fire at the moment.
Yeah, he really is. And, Arsenal winning 1-0. But let's get Ezekiel on. How you doing, mate?
How you doing, Ezekiel?
How you guys doing? I'm doing good. First off, I just want to comment on what Kyriakou said. I do data analytics. Stats are meant to inform give context. XG is one of the most contextual stats out there. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You're an idiot. Whatever. Secondly, another preface.
Whoa. Danny's not an idiot. I'll say that.
Sometimes he can be.
No,
I'm just being brash.
I know you are, brother. No, it's not just you, mate. I can see the chat has been its normal vile self and attacking people, not the argument. But I will say, XG is something I hate in modern day football. I look at the score. Listen, it may be a worthwhile stat. I'm just old school and don't really look at it. But
that's fair.
Back to what you were saying, Ezekiel.
But
secondly,
whether you like XG or not, it's not there to tell you the final result. That's the scoreline. That's what the scoreline is for.
That's all I look at. XG. Whenever you guys talk about it, I enter some kind of parallel universe. Because it's not that I don't understand.
All it's there to tell you who create the most high quality chances in the game. That's all it is.
I know, but
people take too much. People be like, but this guy had 3 XG, but they lost the game. Like that can happen. That can happen.
I don't care about it. I care. Like I said, the only stat I care about is in the top left hand of the screen where it says.
And that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Whatever. That's it.
All right, let's get back to Ezekiel.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Secondly, I said this to Sim first time I was on. This channel has been hugely influential in my Spurs fandom, so I just want to thank you guys for that and what you do. Okay, my main thing I took from this performance, I genuinely think this ref needs to be investigated. I fully believe he put his mortgage or something on the game. And I think if this game was taking place in France, the ref would have been lucky to walk out of the stadium with his life. It was unbelievable what I was watching. And I think there's been multiple performances this season where the refs have heavily influenced how the game went, and it's gone kind of untalked. And I think it kind of came to a head this game because it was so clear, especially on that Ekitike goal. How VAR looks at that and doesn't overturn it is beyond me. Yeah. Doesn't make sense. I also think the ref had a little something for Spence this game. Spence wasn't getting any calls. I feel like he was getting fouled all the time. Wasn't getting any calls, nothing. It was kind of ridiculous. And whoever was speaking earlier said, yes, the ref, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. It just made me angry, but it shouldn't matter. But yeah, those were terrible, terrible decisions. I think it was a positive performance. You can take something good away from the game. I think they fought for the badge, as people were saying, and they performed well. It just sucks. I feel like the game got robbed from us, and I feel like we deserve to walk out of there with a result. And this ref got a call from Bet365 to turn the scoreline around.
Did you have any issues with the red cards?
I think the Xavi one is completely fair. Xavi's one was completely fair, but Romero's, to me, maybe I'm wrong and I didn't watch it hard enough, but to me it looked like kind of accidental, and then the ref said something to him, and then he got really mad.
I could be wrong. It was accidental, to be honest.
Just a quick one between you two. What was his first yellow card for again?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I can't remember either.
What's it called? Chatting back at the ref or anything, or was there a reckless tackle? I can't remember. Anyone in the chat?
I think it was a tackle. I don't think it was for dissent.
So that's the word I was looking for. I couldn't remember the word dissent. Thank you, Ezekiel. Yeah, but that, like you were saying with the Beckham one, with the he is right in front of the ref. Like, he can clearly see it. And the worst thing about it,
it was for arguing Ekitike's goal.
Oh, there you go. So it was dissent. So there you go. So he's done that dissent. But do you know what it is, Ezekiel? He'd won the free kick in a difficult position. In a dangerous position for us. His aerial ability going forward could have been huge for us in that set piece.
Yep.
And right there, when we had the bit between our teeth and we were really going for that equaliser, to just lash out there is just petulance, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's terrible decision making. And I said this to Sim last week. I personally don't believe Romero should have ever been the captain. He just never seemed very captain-like to me. I understand he's that's a different discussion. I don't know. Like, there's not a lot of captains in the team, which is part of the issue. But to me, I understand he's a World Cup winner and he's like a Rolls-Royce center back and he's one of the best players on the team. But it's because of this petulance that he has that I didn't really want him to be our captain, because this was always going to happen. He was always going to get in yellow card trouble. He was always going to blow up at the ref, blow up at a player, and that's not. You want your captain to be the calm, composed one that goes and drags the player away from the ref. You know
Mickey
what I mean?
Van de Ven?
Yeah, but Van de Ven also loses his head sometimes. But Van de Ven's better at it for sure. But yeah, that is part of the issue, though. I don't know if there is really a captain in the squad. I think the captain probably would have been Madison if he didn't go down, who I think would have been a great captain. But yeah, I think throughout the entire Spurs ecosystem, there's just a major lack of leadership. It's not just the squad. I think it's the whole organization. And I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier, Brian, about, everyone's new and it takes time and everyone needs to bed in. But I think that's what really leads to all the issues we see, is that there's this the club's in a transitional period identity-wise. You know what I mean? So there isn't something for the players to latch onto just yet, coming from the top of the club down, sort of like a culture thing. And we've been saying that for years, and I think Levy going helps, and it's starting to be rebuilt. And I think it's sort of leading to all this disconnect we see on the pitch, disconnect we see in player acquisition strategy and all this. There just isn't someone at the top that brings it all together. I don't know. I'm doing a bad job of trying to.
No, I think you're saying it's spot on, mate. I think you're saying it's spot on.
Totally spot on. And I will add to that, Ezekiel, what it is as well, I've said this before. You're right, when it comes to the leadership, when you're paying big transfer fees for players, I'm not going to give a big amount. You're not just playing for their ability on the pitch. You're playing for their mentality, their conduct in training, their hard work. You look at someone like a Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, might not have been the greatest of player and not suited to Ange football, but was very suited to. But his mentality, his leadership, his desire, that sometimes comes with the big money players, because that they're up there because not just what they do on the pitch, how they conduct themselves off it, the way they think about it, the way their standards are high, and we just haven't done it. We just don't buy leaders.
That type of mentality is what brings players to that upper level. You know what I mean? You need to have that to get to that level in the first place.
Sonny is a perfect example. Just look at Sonny.
Yeah, great example. Harry Kane's also a great example. Just players who put their head down and work and are like, I'm going to be the best no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think there is a lack of that in the team. I think it's been shown through Spence's disagreements with Frank. I think that also kind of shows where the team's head is at a little bit. I think Porro as well. I think he's a great player. I think his mentality is completely backwards, like full on backwards. I feel like he is the first to make an excuse, if that makes sense, especially like with the Instagram apologies and everything. It's like, dude, you don't need to say anything. No one cares about your apology. Go on the pitch and perform. You know what I mean? And also the Bergvall thing with the fans. It's just like, dude, what are we doing? And I think there is positives to look at, though. I personally am Frank in. I think Frank deserves time. I think we all came into the season knowing that it was going to be a rocky season. I think there is definitely credence to what we see in the performances and people losing faith. I understand that. I also think, like what you were saying, Brian, the whole organization is new, and he has to work with that. He has new players, new organization, new captain. Everything's new, and he has to work through that, and he's trying to figure it out. And I think through these past couple games, we have sort of seen an identity emerge. I think he is sort of finding his formation that he wants to play, or his groups of formations that he wants to play, and the combinations of players that he wants to play and everything. And I think January will be huge for him, because we do know that there are deficiencies in the squad, 100%. And if he can fix those and then take those players into what he's already building, I think things might be able to turn around. But I also expected this season to go this way. You know what I mean? I like, the performances are upsetting, of course, but I wouldn't say they're any less upsetting than they were under Ange, to be completely honest, at least for my own personal feeling. It was still, the team was disappointing, and I was screaming at my TV every single day. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I personally would keep Frank until the end of the season, see what he can do, and, let him have January, let him, try and figure it out. And if it doesn't work, hopefully in January, we just buy good enough players that it doesn't matter who the manager is. And also for Frank, he's not a system manager. So whatever players we buy aren't going to be like what happened with Conte, where, you have these leftovers who only work for Conte and no one else.
Yeah, I mean, with Conte, we even got players that didn't work for him, i.e. Basuma, i.e. Spence.
Longley.
Clement Longap. So this is the thing, like you said, Ezekiel, it's all brand new. And you look at it, I'm going to give you a player who would have been perfect right now for his mentality. Forget his playing ability. Someone on the pitch that wouldn't take any shit and had standards, Robbie Keane. If you look at that team right now, apart from Romero, who obviously, but there is no Robbie Keane-esque player. He's not the greatest player on the pitch all the time.
Well, he was.
No, he wasn't. Like I said, you look at it with Berbatov and whatever he had. Don't get me wrong, he's a very, very good player. But no matter what, that man had standards. And when Robbie Keane left the pitch, you knew he'd given 110% and kept standards and would not let players have an easy ride. We need more people with that kind of mentality and skill set than what we have now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think there's evidence for that in the actual behind the scenes team, where if you've watched Madison's YouTube videos, I feel like the feeling around the pitch, maybe it's because he's recovering from an injury, so there's not those expectations or whatever, but it just seems very happy-go-lucky, and it shouldn't be. It should never be like that. That's not a winning culture. You know what I mean? Yes, you want the team to be friendly and like each other and have fun with each other, of course. But when we're in training and when we're working, it should be, we're locked in, we're doing what we need to do. And I feel like, it speaks back to the culture issues of the club. And I think every Spurs fan knows this. The culture of the club is terrible, and it needs to be rebuilt. And I think we are seeing the first piece in that machine of it being rebuilt.
And it's going
to take time.
There's also a conversation to say that Frank is the one that's been heading up to rebuild this culture. And obviously, he's been Brentford manager before, built up that club unbelievably well. But does he have the experience to build a big club like Tottenham and rebuild the mentality at Tottenham?
Yeah, there is something to be said there. But on the flip side of that, is Tottenham a big enough club to get one of the managers that we would trust to do that. Right?
Well, look, you say that, but we're able to get Jose Mourinho here. We're able to get Antonio Conte
look how
here.
that worked out. Other managers
Yeah, but
will
it's
now
not
be
about
like-
it's not about that working out. It's about them being allowed to rebuild the culture. They weren't allowed to rebuild the culture.
Yep, and that was down to a certain chairman.
And that was under
Correct.
Daniel Levy, though. But that's
Correct.
Daniel Levy at the top. That's not.
But what I'm saying is
the
we were
new-
able to attract those caliber of managers, though.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah. But I
Paying
also
Conte
think those two
15
did a
mil
lot of.
also had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a part of it. And I also think those two managers did a lot of damage to how other managers look at Spurs, though. Because those two came
Fair.
in and weren't able to do it because of what the club did to them.
Fair.
Yeah.
And also, this is something I've thought about for a while. Tottenham is a very, very unique club in its space in world football. Because we're not the biggest of the biggest, but we're not like a Aston Villa, where you're like that one tier below. We exist in like this middle ground in between these huge clubs and these, second tier clubs. And that has always been an issue for Tottenham. It comes up when we try to attract players because we think we should be able to get an Eberechi Eze because we're that type of club, but we will always be little broed by those really massive super clubs. You know what I mean? And so it makes it a really unique position for the club to be in to try to advance the team. And I think the past, I'd say like 4 years, they just haven't navigated that position the best. And so it's a really hard team to rebuild, and it's a really hard club to bring to that level because of that, because it's in that in-between space.
Yeah, it's very true. Spot on. And we just got to hope and pray that we're able to do that. And if you're going to rebuild this club, the recruitment needs to be absolutely spot on.
Yep.
The recruitment hasn't been spot on over the last 5 years. So that's probably the main crux of the issue of where we're at. And obviously, we're not going to be able to bring in that high caliber of player unless we break the wage structure. Otherwise, you're going to be ended up getting 50 million Brennan Johnsons and 65 million Solankis and Richarlisons.
Correct. Spot on.
Yeah, but do we have the money to break that wage structure?
I think,
People
we
say
do.
we do.
We do.
ENIC does, but is ENIC going to give the club that level of leash to do that? Right? People are theorizing they might because Levy's gone. We don't know. And ENIC's entire purpose isn't Tottenham Hotspur. You know what I mean? They have other
but
things
even
they
the
have to
club,
worry
we
about.
generate so much more revenues than a lot of, the majority of the Premier League. So there's no reason why we don't. When you're looking at wage to turnover and all that kind of stuff, like we rank one of the lowest in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more wiggle room than anyone imagines.
Add to that as well, the EDIC have come out and said all the right things we want to hear. They've said funds will be made available. We're aiming, we want success on the pitch. We want this, we want that. That all aligns with breaking that wage structure. Now, obviously, whether they do that in January and bring in a big... Listen, if they're going to bring in a big player, they're going to have to put big money down to a club and they're going to have to offer the big wages. This January is we always go, this January or this window's the window or this is a big window. All eyes, I think, not just Spurs fans, are looking at EDIC to say, right, is this new Tottenham?
I'm just waiting for the line saying January's a hard window to do business.
Oh, that came out yesterday.
Oh, did it?
That came out yesterday. But we're going to have to see. Do you know what? Like I said, if we signed a Conor Gallagher, a Ruben Neves, we got in a left winger, whether it be a Savinho or whoever it may be, and lay down big money, that's already a massive step in the right direction for me in January. You can only do it what's there in January. EDIC have the opportunity to say, right, world, this is what we said. If they don't back them, then there's going to be drama February onwards. They've got to come out and show that they mean business, hopefully bringing the players Frank needs, and I think Frank can turn this around in the second half. People going with 13th, 14th. All right, it's December. Let's see what it says.
And it's so congested, a few wins and we're bang up there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they have to go big this January or it's going to be a ginormous PR disaster for V9 to clean up because that's what they've been teasing. And hopefully they do. And if they do, I'll be ecstatic and I'll say, that's one more step up the mountain towards a better culture. And that shows your intent.
Nothing 60,000 free scarves can't fix.
Do you know what? Those home fans deserve to
You mean blindfolds?
Yeah, blindfolds, yeah. Ezekiel, pleasure to have you on today, mate.
Quick question,
Yep, of
Ezekiel.
course.
Where are you from? Where are you calling from?
New Jersey.
Okay, I thought you were going to say Canada. I was going to say yes, another Canadian.
You can go meet up with him for the World Cup final,
I could
mate.
come up. I could be. I will be
Yeah,
in New
you
Jersey
could.
for the
I'm
World Cup final.
20 minutes away from the stadium.
Oh, mate, we'll keep in contact. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be in New
Let's-
Jersey for the World Cup final.
There's a Spurs bar in my hometown.
Well, very,
You go
very
there.
hopefully, I'll be in the World Cup. I'll be sitting in the ground. But beforehand and afterhand, definitely meet up somewhere at the Spurs bar.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, big up,
See you
Ezekiel.
later, Ezekiel.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
And you.
You too, mate.
Great call.
Yeah, great call from
Great
Ezekiel.
call.
Is that it? No. Oh, there's one. How many more we got?
7.
Oh, okay. we've
7.
got-
Okay,
we've
let's
got-
rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. Let's get David on. David on. David, sitting in the darkness, mate.
He's
What's going
camping,
on?
He's camping.
It's 5 a.m. here,
Where are
bloody
you?
hell, fair play, brother.
Singapore.
Oh, Singapore. We were in Singapore.
Yeah, I've pulled up an
2 summers
all-nighter
ago.
to see the ref be. It's outrageous, in my opinion. But we move on from what the ref did today. We take the positives.
Yeah, I mean, there were positives to take today, but in terms of the outlook of the season and moving forward, kind of where you at with everything?
I think it's too early to start saying Frank out.
Yeah.
As Daigle, as you've said, it's only been 4 months.
Yeah.
We can't keep on sacking managers when they start performing badly. We need to stick with the manager, and we need to give him funds in January to bring in at least like two decent players to improve this squad. And I'll be honest, I have at some points been Frank out, but I've kind of come to the realization that we need to stick with the manager. If we don't stick with the manager, we're not gonna improve as a club, and we're not gonna go anywhere.
Agreed. I mean, I wanted to mention it with Danny as well, and I would David get your take. When we're talking about the player, Archie Gray, I just want to have a quick chat about Archie Gray, because I think since he's come in, he's done well. Obviously, he got a lot of stick because of the goal he gave away against Notts Forest. Frank even came out and said, listen, it was... I think, again, today, he came out and for such a young kid, wanted the ball, got involved, was good defensively, broke up play, and a lot of heat was coming for the selection for playing the 2 youngsters in Gray and Bergvall in such a big game, especially after Gray at Anfield last season was thrown to the Wolves. I think Archie Gray and Bergvall did very, very well today for what they had to do. What do you reckon, David?
I think they're 2 exceptional players, which they're the future of Spurs. I think the way to get the best out of them is to play them. Keep playing Archie Gray. Keep playing Lucas Bergvall. If we play them every single game, they will just improve. They've got such a bright future ahead of them, and they've got such a high ceiling. And the only way to get all that potential out of them is just to play them in every single match.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that as well. And when you're looking at the other midfield options that we have anyway, they're probably 2 of the best that we have at our disposal.
Yeah. Like Archie Gray, since Frank started to play him, he's been exceptional. I've just loved watching him on the ball. He's been so graceful with how he's taken on his man when he's had to dribble and create space when we've gone forward, but also defensively. He's put in some really good challenges. And I think he's the midfielder who we need. If Thomas Frank can develop him and take him under his wing, I think Archie Gray in the future be the centre midfielder who we're looking for, who can distribute the ball really well and who can at the same time track back when we need to defend. And I think it's the same with Lucas Bergvall. But I think Lucas Bergvall, he's going to be more attacking wise. I think he can be our number 8. And I think they're both exceptional players, and they'll both have a very bright future at Spurs.
On the game today, I mean, with the key decisions, which did you have a problem with any of the sending offs?
So I think Xavi Simmons, ridiculous challenge. I think he shouldn't be doing that with how refs and VAR are today and how strict they are. Xavi Simmons was walking a very thin line there, and I'm not very surprised that he got a red card. I think with the second goal, it was a push, and when I watched the replay in slow motion, you could see Romero was exaggerating it a bit. You could see kind of he did exaggerate the push, but I still think that the goal should have been disallowed, and that was a clear push. And then Romero's second yellow card, it's unnecessary. I understand why the ref gave him a second yellow, but I think the ref didn't have to. And he's giving the referee an opportunity, isn't he? Like he is.
He shouldn't be lashing out like that. Like I think it is a stonewall yellow card, to be honest.
Oh, without doubt.
It is. Romero can be sometimes like that, and it is frustrating.
So positive to take today. So can we kick on now? Can we show a bit of consistency?
I think we can, if we can be consistent, but that's just if. I think this game is we played very well. If we had 11 players, I do think we would have won that game. But even with 10 players, we dominated the second half of the second half, and we kept Liverpool back.
Even with 9 men.
Yeah, even with 9 men, it was incredible. I do really think Thomas Frank can succeed if we get the right players in January.
Yep.
If we get the right players in January, I think Thomas Frank can really grow this club and grow the squad of players to something really good. But I think we just need to give Thomas Frank time. We need to give him this season. And then I think we also need to give him this season, because I can see it in the squad. I can see it in the matches. Thomas Frank is still kind of trying to understand what tactics we need to use to get the best out of this group of players. I don't think he actually knows. I think he's still trying to figure it out. And I think he needs an entire season to figure it out. I know some fans will say that, that's too long. We can't give him an entire season. I think we give him an entire season and half of next season as well to prove that he can actually do it.
But at what point is the kind of breaking point? Because we're 4 points away from 17th. So what if we do realistically get drawn into a relegation battle? I don't think it will come to that, but what, if we actually do?
It's a fair point. And I think if we do, I think that's where we cut the line. I think that's where we start looking for replacements. But if we finish, let's say, at the end of the season, top 8, I would say let's not sack Thomas Frank. Let's give him, even if we don't finish with Europe, if we don't qualify for Europe next season, we still give Thomas Frank the next season to actually, improve.
All right.
I think that's my opinion. That's my opinion on it.
Fair enough, David. Thank you for coming on today, mate.
Thank you very much.
Up till 5 a.m, mate. Get some sleep.
Go get some sleep, mate.
You can turn the lights out now.
I'm going to go straight to bed. Have a nice day. Love the show.
Buddy.
I watch you guys all the time.
Thank you, mate.
Having a great day.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers,
You know what it is? We're talking about, you look at it now, with Xavi Simmons out for potentially 3 games, or even if it's just 1 game. Pape Matar was taking that 10, wasn't he? Now what do you do? Do you put Kudus at 10 and Johnson wide?
Bergvall will go there. Bergvall will go there, yeah.
So we'll see again. It's another thing he's got to deal with.
It'll be Bergvall there, and you've got to give an opportunity to one or Taylor Odebear. I mean, it looks like he fancies Odebear a bit more. So
Yep.
I thought Everton should have had a penalty there. Did you just see that?
No, but let's hope they VAR go to it.
What is this jabroni coming on next?
Oh, it's the last one. That's
I thought
a
you
quick
said 7
6 or
more.
7.
No, they all dipped.
They all dipped. Okay, it's time. Here we go. KPV, you booked your ticket to Toronto yet?
Fortunately, I can't make it, mate.
Oh, you can't make it for the World Cup.
I wish I could, but it looks like I won't. But I
Oh,
would
Ben, I'm
love
pimping
to,
out myself.
but I might. I'll see if I can try, but I have to speak to my boss.
You
see
had
if
somewhere
she-
to stay, though.
Yeah, I know, man.
I'm
but-
doing an auction. I will be doing a live auction for the spare
Doing an
room.
auction, everyone.
Although I
But-
will say Sim said he might come out, and if Sim comes out, he's got it for free.
Well then, yeah, everyone, you heard it. He's doing an auction, so
Apart from
But-
if Sim decides to come. If Simeon says he's coming to Toronto, then Simeon gets the spare room for nothing. He
Is
gets
Sim,
it for
is Sim
free.
going to the World Cup?
No, we spoke last time that saying he might come out. This was before we didn't know if England got to go to Toronto or not. Then I said to him, listen, whether they do or not, come out, host World Cup nation, host city, summertime, it'll be banging in Toronto, everywhere will be rocking, and it's summertime. So he said, oh, we'll see. So it may be Simeon. But back to today, KPV, what you got to say?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, we were the better team. Those lot who are not the team they were from last season were shocking. And like, what the hell's going on? Like, it's a clear foul on Romero from Ekatike, and we were robbed. And like, Liverpool's goal should not have stood. And yeah, like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, this referee is a shambles, blood. He's a shambles. He's a bad man and he's a dickhead. Simple. And he needs to be investigated like all the referees have. John Moss should have been investigated after that 3-1 defeat to City at Wembley in April 2018 when there was never penalty for City. Lloris came out. Never pen blood and never penny in the Champions League final. Look at the picture, everyone. WeAreTottenhamTV posted out before I did, and it's never penalty in the Champions League final. And even some of my friends admit it wasn't, and they're Liverpool fans, and I couldn't give a damn. But we were robbed, and yeah, like Kanate touched Romero first. I've seen the footage, so yeah, like I don't know why the ref was sent Romero off because yeah, we were robbed, and Newcastle were robbed today as well. So we should have won this game, and it's now the other way round. We were down to 9 men when, well, we're down to 9 men. We lost 2-1 at home, but look at the game 2 seasons ago at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I know Ben was in the studio for that. We won 2-1, and you still think we didn't deserve to win, Ben, hey?
Which game was that? When we beat Liverpool 2-1?
Yeah.
We
You
didn't
think
deserve to win.
to win.
No, we didn't.
Huh?
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. We did, mate.
We deserved to win today.
No, we deserved to beat them 2 seasons ago as well, mate, because we won. And
We deserve to beat them because we won.
we deserved it, mate, and we should have won today, blood. Like, they got lucky, mate. They only won because they've got Alisson, who has, like, lost to us. And Porro didn't score that injury time goal. It was Matip. Came off his foot and in.
Yeah.
And Porro thought he scored, and Porro thought he scored. He took off his shirt, and Velis, Romero, and that ran to the fans. But Porro said to everyone on Twitter, sold to the people that have me in their fantasy teams. And yeah, I thought I scored, but I didn't. But like Richarlison against the Scousers again, finally scored a home goal. And like, but why-
KPV,
Yes.
can I tell you something that's happened today?
what?
So I was talking to Brian before the game.
God, here we go.
I was talking to Brian before the game,
Don't.
and we were talking
Don't.
about Toby Alderweireld.
No, we weren't. No, we
Ben,
weren't.
what are you talking about now, mate?
We weren't.
This is
We
Brian.
weren't.
Daigle told me we
We
signed
weren't.
Toby Alderweireld from Southampton.
We weren't.
I'll keep telling him we didn't.
We weren't. We didn't.
Brian,
Oh,
stop
Jesus
it.
Christ.
Liars.
Mate,
Stop lying, Daigle.
do you know what? You keep falling for this every single time, KPV.
I'm
Every
not
single
falling for the
time.
tricks, Blooder. Google it.
I
I've
don't think-
seen it.
I know where he came from.
So why
It
did you
was
say
that black one
Southampton?
that-
I
Good,
didn't
mate.
say Southampton. I didn't say
See?
something.
Ben's
Oh,
lying again.
Exactly, KPV. Call it as it is.
What's going on,
Call it
brother?
as it is. Ben is just
Call it as
stirring
it
the
is,
pot.
blood, like, I
Stirring the
don't know
pot.
what you're doing, Ben. And everyone, Ben needs to tell me what his account name is on Xbox, and I can play him because it is Wagner Monk. I've still got that account on there as a friend, and he's not going to tell me what it is. And Ben needs to stop mentioning a player. I didn't have my ultimate team.
But you
Clearly, Ben is lying. It wasn't me, Ben.
It
all right?
was you.
I watched your video. and
Daigle
it
was
weren't
there
me,
sitting
Ben.
next to me. What should we play?
I have to say,
No,
I
he
have to
wasn't.
say, KV, I was there. I was
was
at
a
Ben's
joke.
house watching it, and you did have a certain player.
no, I didn't, Brian. It weren't me, fella, because I watched the video. It wasn't.
It wasn't
me,
on
mate.
stream. It wasn't on
live.
stream.
It weren't me, Ben. All right, stop lying. How many times I watched your FIFA 22 playlist video, and it weren't me, mate.
We
'cause I
didn't stream
play.
it on YouTube. It wasn't on YouTube. It was offline.
No, it was still on YouTube, mate, because I watched
No, it
your
wasn't.
video. It was. I've got.
It was
clearly,
at Ben's house, not here in the studio. It
It
wasn't.
was here in the studio, mate, because FIFA 22 was in the 21-22 season when it came out.
Correct.
And no, it was correct. Ben, stop lying, mate. I know it was
I'm not
correct, 'cause
lying.
I
I'm not
watched the video.
lying. I'm not lying.
No.
I've got evidence.
No, you haven't. Stop chatting shit, mate. 'cause
I
watched
am
the
Exhibit
video.
A.
Fuck you, Ben. It wasn't me, mate. It weren't me that had him because you don't know that. It weren't me because I didn't play the game. I was sitting on my sofa watching you stream FIFA 22 with Simeone. And when are you going to bring back some content, blood? You promised us you're going to bring back some more FC content. You haven't done
It's
it
coming,
since.
mate. It's coming, mate. We've been very busy with the 2
Yeah,
games
you
a week.
jabroni bastards. Bring back content. If you want Ben and Sim to bring back some content, give me a hell yeah! Hell yeah! And I don't care. Like, we were robbed today, as I said, we were robbed, and we played better than them lot, and they shit. Like, they can't beat PSV. Perisic scored my brother. Like, we probably should have kept him. And Clement Longap, I don't care what you say, Ben, because I actually thought he done pretty well for us, scoring in Marseille. And I've seen a video on YouTube when you were celebrating and he scored the winner. Well, it was Højbjerg. Then Højbjerg scored the winner. Longap got the first goal. And
Yeah.
so we've not lost to Marseille actually in the Champions League. Only, I believe, Newcastle have played them. They lost. But I believe Chelsea got Marseille soon. So they played them before under Carlo and lost. So they know how to play Premier League teams. But why have Marseille got a Tottenham player?
Who was in the studio doing a watch along for the Marseille game?
It was Sim and Brains, and I believe it was what's his name? The other one, Marlon and whoever. Like, you have other ones
You're wrong,
in the
mate.
studio.
It was
And-
Sim, Brains, Ashmatic,
Yeah, him.
and me.
Yeah, that's what I said. You, mate. So I
didn't
don't
say
give a
me.
damn about size. Like Kurt Angle says, if you want to see him open a can of raw pass, give me a you suck. Like, he doesn't care. Like, yeah, but we've got a few games we're going to miss Xavi Siemens. Like, he's a Dutch man, and Virgil just give him a little tap on the shoulder. Like, yeah, fellow Dutchman. And unfortunately, Ezekiel, we don't get to decide who should be captain for Tottenham. It's the manager, and unfortunately, Frank decides that. So we don't decide, mate. So bring back Sonny, mate, for at least 6 months. Like, yeah,
But KPV, he has said he's not coming back. He said he's not
He
coming
will.
back. This is why as well, and I'll bring this up very quickly as well, with people going on about Semenyo, with Spurs coming out and saying Spurs are no longer pursuing Semenyo. I'm delighted that we've done that, because he has stated on a number of occasions he does not want to come to Tottenham. So why are Tottenham wasting time on players that don't want to come like we have done? Scratch it off, go on to the next one.
like Sonny still loves the club,
But
and
that's not the point. He said he ain't coming back.
well, that's just a lie from him. Then he would say that.
Yeah, Sonny's known for being a liar, exactly, yeah.
Every player lies. Like,
Uh-huh.
who do you want to come back then? Give us Robbie Keane, because, as Brian stated, he wouldn't take no shit for an answer on the pitch.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
And-
him on the playing staff, though.
That's what I said. Like, a coach, he's doing well at Maccabi Haifa, a team
Well,
that Ben actually supports. He was,
He's
but
now in Hungary.
He manages Ferencvaros.
Ferencvaros, my arse. No one likes that team, man. Like,
He's
he
the
should-
manager.
Yeah, and no one's ever heard of that team. Like,
We played
I've
them.
never heard of
We
that
played them.
Jabroni team.
We played them.
Last season. No,
No.
not last season, season before.
Yeah.
Or was it? Or was
23,
it last
24,
season?
mate.
No, it was for Johnson. Johnson scored the winner. It was last season.
Was it last season in the
Last
Europa
season
League?
we
Yeah.
played them.
And Harry Kane, last Tottenham game was a 4-0 win against Shakhtar Donetsk. He got 4 goals. So Kane has played under Ange. That was his last game as a captain for us. So, like, we've had captains, but for me, there's only one great captain. Oh, Ledley. Yeah, great captain, Gary Malbert. If there's any other captains I missed, but Sonny's right up there. Gary Malbert. And, like, who do you want to come back? Like, who's going to come back to Tottenham then? Name me a player that should come back.
Maybe Bale will come out of
Yeah,
retirement for us.
but KPV, it should be players coming back to Spurs.
Sammy, do you have the?
We need new blood. We need new
Like-
players. We need winners. We need players with huge mentalities and high standards. Not
Like-
potential in a couple of years. Not okay. We need players that come in Premier League proven or big league proven to come in positions that are needed. Not backups and backups.
Fair enough. Like, I hear that. Like, we need new players. Like, anyone name new players you want? Like, we need a goalkeeper. From what I heard, we need a well-class goalkeeper. Like, Vicario can't save a penalty. I've said it many times, people, and I'll say it again. Bring back Gazzaniga. He saved a penalty against Watford. Watch the game, because I know Ben was at Vicarage Road. We drew 0-0. We couldn't score. And
How do you know I was
So-
at Vicarage Road?
I've watched the vlog, blood. That was 2019-20. We drew at home and we didn't win, and we didn't win at Watford, blood. Like,
Gazzaniga's
Gary
33
Neville.
years of age. Like, you really want to bring him back?
Because he saved one
yeah,
penalty.
because
he
he can
saved
save
one penalty.
penalties. He
Look,
saved a penalty.
KPV, Vicario, as much as people might say we need a goalkeeper, I'm kind of undecided right now with it. But he is but for me, left back, midfielder, left winger, striker are the massive priorities.
Yes, we need another defender and an attacking mid, and yeah, left mid, left wing is the same position. They just change the formation, like left mid, left wing, and get chemistry to whoever's in the next position in the team. Like, now we're gonna miss Xavi. Like, if there's one man who can save our club, I've seen someone from Barcelona, like a fan on Instagram, saying, if there's one man that can save Tottenham, it's Xavi, the Barcelona legend. He saved Barcelona, won La Liga, so he could do it. Like, yeah,
So
give me Xavi.
Xavi Simmons is named after him.
Yeah, Xavi. So that's really, they're like father, like son. Like, give me Xavi Hernandez, people, because I'm not saying Frankel. I never said Frankel, and I don't know who's saying Frankel. Like, we can't seem to win a big game at home, and we can't seem to do that. We haven't done that since last season. We beat Man United, and we've got other games coming up, and we can't seem to win a game before Christmas. We haven't done that since what, 2018, we beat Everton away at Goodison Park 6-2 when Kane scored 2, Sonaldo, Ali. So we haven't done that since, and we can't seem to win a game before Christmas. We haven't done that over the last couple of years, so we can't do that. And probably going to be the same like next year. Like, we've had Liverpool before Christmas 2 seasons in a row. We can't win. We've only beaten them once. That was in a cup, Bergville. So we can't seem to beat them in the league. It hasn't been. It's been over 2 years. And so, but anyway, people, KPB's off because I'm going out on Monday with some friends for a Christmas meal, and so everyone.
So you're off now because
Yeah,
you're going out on
he's off
Monday.
to meet with all the Marvel characters.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Look, he's
You
dressed
mad,
as I can see you as Captain America.
That's a T-shirt, mate. Like,
Yeah, you're
it's
going
not
to
got
go
him.
meet. You're going to go meet Iron Man and Hulk right now and go paint the town red.
Nah, man,
Is
that's
that
not
the
going to
right?
happen.
Is that the
mate.
right franchise? Captain
Nah,
America and Hulk
Captain
and
America,
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Hulk is green blood, and
I did.
Hulk is green, and he's always angry. That's what he said in the Avengers. And if you ain't seen it, everyone, Cristiano's got a new role in the last Fast and Furious. And shout out to Vin Diesel and the others. So can't wait to watch it. So everyone, I'm going now because Ben's got to go home. And if you want to see KV and Ben have a game of FC26, then you better stay tuned because it is coming. And Ben needs to tell me what his account name is so I can give him a whooping because he got lucky on FIFA 22.
13-1.
Huh?
It was 13-1.
Lucky bastard. Anyway, Brian, before you go, mate, there's one thing I'm going to keep saying. Ben can't beat Ashley at FPL because, yeah, you can't beat your wife, Ben. You can't beat her at FPL.
You got to be careful when you say that sentence.
It's a fact, Brian. I watched the video and he's the reason I had HelloFresh because every time Ben lost, he had to cook dinner. So Ashley will stick up for me as always. And big up, everyone. Anyway, I can't stay on too long. Otherwise, we're going to be here till 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm out. And so go home, Ben, and make sure you practice because I want some payback. It's time for payback. So I'm gonna...
So Ben can go home. Me and Sammy have got to stay here, yeah?
Like, you can all go. Like,
Oh, thank you. We're dismissed.
you all go, man. Anyway,
We're dismissed. Class
look up,
out.
everyone. KPV's going to play some FC26 and watch a Christmas movie after Christmas only. That's
You're going to
it.
watch the
So
last 10 minutes of the Arsenal game?
I'm watching it at the minute. It's only 77, and I don't know how Everton didn't get a penalty. Saliba doing the similar one that Declan Rice did to Ben Davies, kicking him in the leg, and we got a penalty given, and they haven't. Like, VAR just robs teams that referees don't like us. So I couldn't give a monkey's ass about them. I'm out of here, people. So I'll see you. Who have we got next?
Crystal Palace
Palace.
away.
As Expressions calls them, Crystal Myth FC.
Yep.
And they're currently losing 3-0 to Leeds.
I have to say, Ashley is in the chat, so Ashley has just seen what you've been saying. So
Big up, Ashley. Big up, Josh as well. Big up.
What about
I'm out of
Sophia?
it, people.
You didn't say big up to Sophia.
Big up, Sophia as well. Whatever. Like,
What do you mean,
you
whatever?
can see. Doesn't matter.
KPV, you know everything. You need to say happy birthday to Joshua for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Joshua's birthday
Happy
tomorrow.
birthday for tomorrow, Joshua, mate.
There we go. There you go. We've gone through the
Sorry we
family.
didn't win today, mate, but don't worry, mate. Next year, hopefully we'll get a big win because at least we didn't lose before my birthday this year, and we beat Brentford on my birthday last year. So sorry we couldn't get a win for you tomorrow, mate. But enjoy your Christmas with Ben and Ash, and have a good one, mate. And hopefully we'll meet up soon because it'll be a pleasure. So
Big
yeah.
up to you, KPV.
big up, everyone, and I'm out of here. So I'm out of here, yo. Peace.
See you later,
buddy.
KPV.
See you later, bro.
You know what?
Oh, the whirlwind that is KPV, people.
That is the exact word for it. Isn't it?
It really is.
Whirlwind.
Quite unbelievable that Palace are losing 3-0 to Leeds.
But remember, Leeds, it's only Leeds.
Yeah.
When
only
we win
Leeds.
there, it's only Leeds.
So Leeds are 3 points behind us.
Okay.
That's mad.
It is mad. But like you said, the Premier League is so congested this season from so many teams being unpredictable and no consistency. A few wins, you're right back up there. But don't get me wrong, the position right now is not looking good. And I did not expect to see us where we are right now. I did not expect it. I expected to at least be in the top half, 10th, 9th, 8th, whatever. Didn't expect us to be challenging for top 4 right here, right now. There's a lot of work to do. There is a lot of work to do, and it's going to take support from the fans, support from the board, support from Thomas Frank being accountable for the errors he's making. The Spurs players taking accountability for errors that they made today. And it's going to have to be a massive togetherness and team effort from the very top right to the very bottom of the club and the fan base. So let's just hope we can do that.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. So as much as we didn't lose today, it was a positive performance, and hopefully we can build on the performance that we showed tonight. We are sitting currently 13th in the league. The two teams that can overtake us is Nottingham Forest and Fulham. Got super chats, you say?
I believe.
Oh, all right. Philly Ali says,
I'll big up Philly.
Should have been fighting for a pen on Spence before the first goal. Isak to be off the pitch after faking injury on the first goal. Foul on Kuti for the second. Second yellow for Kanate on Kuti's red. On and on. So I mean, the ref was a disgrace today. Let's be real.
Yeah. Wasn't the best performance.
Philly Ali again with the super chat. Big up Philly. He says Liverpool was there for the taking. The players put everything they had into the match, and no fight from the club about awful refereeing decisions. Yeah, I mean, Liverpool were there for the taking today. That's the reality.
They were. And you know what? Like I said, like a few people said on the show, if we'd stuck to 11 men, who would have known? I think we had the upper hand. Now,
even if it was just 10 men.
Yeah, so even with 10 men, who obviously we didn't have long enough with 9 men, but they gave it their all. And I think if we had 11 men, I don't think that game ends 2-1. I don't think we go 2-0 down. All the hard work that we did have during the week, who knows what would have been, and it got scarpered, and just the blueprint was gone from Xavi's recklessness.
Danny Kiriakou sent in the super chat. He said, Ben, Brian, average players equal no consistency, period. I mean, yeah, they would do. Michael Hellman says, I'm not having fun anymore. We went from cloud 9 in the summer transfer window to whatever this is. Richie isn't Haaland, but he fights for the badge.
Yeah.
I mean, Richie does fight for the badge, and I think he showed that today. But his performance fluctuations they're too much to handle, man. Like, he's either playing really well or he's just so dreadful.
That's what I think Danny was trying to get at most of the time when he was talking. We've got a lot of players. Like, we look at the Brentford game, people will say it's only Brentford. From minute 1 to minute 90, every player was on it. Forget the opposition. And then we have games like Forest where not a single player was on it from minute 1 to minute 90. Then you had today where you had players that were on it from minute 1 to minute 90, but not the whole team. And that's where sometimes we're lacking in quality. We've got the numbers. I believe we've got depth. I believe if you look at the youngsters that we've got, we mentioned Bergvall and Gray in it, and then Xavi Simmons, and then maybe some of the Vuskovic and whatever. There is the nucleus of a good team there, but with the youngsters, you need quality around them. You look at Man City when they bring in a Foden, or Liverpool when they brought in a Trent Alexander-Arnold, or the Filth when they brought in a Saka. There was genuine even with us with Dele Alli. Let's go back to us with Dele Alli. That team Poch was assembling, and we had pure quality around it.
Yeah.
So Dele Alli,
we had a spine.
We had a spine. We had fight. We had everything, but it wasn't on the youngsters. If Dele was on an off game, there was another 10 players. You could say, right, Carl Walker will do whatever. Danny Rose will do whatever. Moussa Dembele, Wanyama, Cade and Ericsson, Sonny, they'd all chip in and get it done. We don't have that amount of players to do it right now.
The thing is, I agree with the majority of the sentiment that Danny makes about the players not being at the level of where we want to be.
Yep.
But I just disagree so much about. He says we're in the place of the league where our kind of quality deserves to be. Like, no, I don't agree. I think the players that we have should be doing a lot better than what we're showing on a consistent basis.
Yeah, I think we should be in the top 10. I'm not going to go. We should be in the top 5 competing. This is a brand new season. Like we said, mentioned, and a couple of people picked up on it as well, like Ezekiel. Everything for the first time in our life, or under Edic, everything at this football club is different. Everything. We may have had different managers, different directors of football, different scout, whatever.
Everything apart from Ben Davis.
Everything. You know what I mean? Donna Cullen's gone. Vinay's in. Parachi's. Everything from top to bottom is completely different. And you're not going to get everyone together and all of a sudden everything's like, right, now it's all changed. Everything's going to be so much better. It takes time to get everyone on the same song sheet and going in the right direction. And hopefully with time that will come. And I'm prepared to give it the time to see.
I don't think we've got a choice.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got a choice. Scorpion Fan for Life says, Sim is right about Richie. He never gets any credit. Look, I think with Richie, he's like anyone else. I think, well, it depends who's giving the opinion. But I think for me, I give him credit when credit's due, and then I criticise him when criticism is due. And I think, look, a lot of fans, I think, around social media has used him as a scapegoat at times. But the reality is he's our top goal scorer this season. He's the one that's providing for us more than anyone else in terms of goals. So he does got to get the credit. But there are games where you're just sitting there being like, so frustrating, man. Like, the ball just bounces off him. He provides no kind of threat up top.
Goes down very easily.
Yeah, those when he's like that and he's like down every 5 minutes, just so frustrating. Like, if we could get a good level of consistent performance out of him, like, no one would complain.
Well, you know what you would have thought as well? With this season, the one thing we have got from him consistently is actually injury-free.
Yeah.
And you thought that would have seen a huge uprising in his output. Don't get me wrong, he's been amongst the goals, and thank God for his goals, because if we were to take Richie's goals out of the team right now, we could be in a hell of a lot of trouble. But if someone had said to anyone, forget who the manager is right now, forget who... If we'd all gone into this window or this season and said that Solanke will be our mainstay, fittest and number one striker, not just by goals but by first choice because of what we've got, I don't think any Spurs fan would believe it. He'd stay fit the whole season, it'd be consistent. And unfortunately, this is where we're at right now.
We've signed 2 players that never get injured.
And guess what?
And Richarlison is fitter than both of them. Yeah. Madness, isn't it? It's just madness.
Exactly.
Mawani had never had an injury in his career before joining Tottenham.
Oh no, I think he'd had a couple.
No, I don't think he missed a few games because of illness.
No, I think he had. I do think he had. I don't think it kept him out for a long time, but I do believe he did have a couple of injuries. Nothing major. Certainly not as long as a dead leg.
So Mawani injury record, yeah, you're right. He did have a few injuries. The maximum he'd ever missed for club and country were 3 games.
He missed that with his dead leg, didn't he?
He missed 11.
For us?
Yeah. Yeah, mad. Wow, I've just seen here, Mawani, when he was playing for Nantes, was out for 16 days with a dead leg. That's the first I'm seeing that. I've never seen this before, ever. But Mawani has missed a total of 13 games with a dead leg in his career. That's mad.
There you go. There you go.
What else do we have here? Franklin says, I dislike Frank, but we have to learn to stick with coaches. I'm tired of chopping and changing. Give Frank the season, then we find out. And I think whether you like Frank or not, like, the club are going to give him time to turn it around. Yeah. So may as well just try and support him through it.
People are forgetting as well. We talk about the main people. People are talking about Iriola and Glasner. Iriola at Bournemouth, when he first came, didn't win one of his first 10 games, was on the verge of getting the sack. Then it turned around. He's had 2 years to get this team. Yes, he's lost big players, and their scouting and recruitment has been brilliant, which ours hasn't. And now he's doing stuff, but they're not in the best of form right now. Glasner won his first game, didn't win for the next 7, and again has had time. And yes, he's got the best out of Crystal Palace, don't get me wrong, but they come in here, it's going to be the same thing. The recruitment is poor, or has been poor, over the years. It's not they come in and instantly we change. Bournemouth have bought wisely, listened to their manager, brought in players to play that style, and we keep chopping and changing our styles of manager.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you what, everyone clamouring for Ollie Glasner as well. Like, we all talk about Frank's issues in terms of trying to break down teams and break down low blocks. And when you're asked the onus is on you to go break down teams, you know, it's difficult. And Frank hasn't really found a solution to that, barring the Brentford game. Ollie Glasner has had the same issues throughout his career for Frankfurt and for Crystal Palace. If you sit deep and you ask Palace to have the possession, you ask Frankfurt to have the possession, they found it hard to break teams down, and those are the points that they dropped through the season.
Yep.
So as much as Glasner's a great manager and he's done great things, you know, it could be very similar issues.
Well, it's like saying with Frank coming from Brentford. Glasner would have come from Crystal Palace. Yes, he's won a trophy, but
He won the Europa League as well, yeah.
Yeah, but Frankfurt, yeah, but fair play on that, completely agree. But coming from Crystal Palace, so what's the difference from Brentford and Crystal Palace? Palace have been a yo-yo team for a long time. And he comes from Crystal Palace. So yes, he did very well at Eintracht Frankfurt and obviously won them a tournament, a trophy. But these managers, Iriana comes from Bournemouth. What's the difference with Brentford here?
Yeah. The only difference is Frank built Brentford into what they are from the Championship.
Correct.
Glasner took them on from a further stage, obviously, because they're already like a Premier League team and made them more of a force, didn't he?
Correct.
All right. Crystal Palace have just scored 3-1 now. L'Apprentice with the members chat saying both red cards were soft. VAR and the ref rigged this game against us. I accept the loss, but the ref needs to be called out. Atrocious ref. I mean, the ref is atrocious, and he had an atrocious game, but I disagree with what he's saying with the Reds. I think
both
they were
red cards.
Reds, yeah.
Both red cards. And you look at it now, when we were discussing the fan show, the fact that Romero's got the first yellow card for dissent about the foul, understandable he's hot-headed or wants to say this ain't on, but then when you've got that yellow card, you know to have your wits about
Both of them are such stupid yellow cards.
Completely, again, just needless. And we seem to have a habit of that recently, where we're just giving away needless free kicks and picking up needless bookings or putting players in serious risk of a red card and VAR. And it seems to be a reoccurring thing, which has got to be stamped out.
Yeah. And last but not least, Sporific SG says the referee needs to be investigated for corruption. God, I think they all do, to be fair.
Yeah, look, let's be fair. The English refereeing standards at the moment is in the gutter. It is woeful, and something you see given a red card. There'll be something in a game next week that happened with Xavi or with Romero, and there won't be a booking.
Yeah.
It has gone absolutely down the drain, the standard of refereeing in this football in this country, and there's no consistency. But decisions he made were wrong within this game, but the two red cards, Spurs have no. We've only got ourselves to blame.
Look, the reality is with refereeing decisions, however bad they are at times, you know, one day you'll get them, the next day you're not going to get them. It's just something you've got to deal with. That's the reality. You know, last week at Nottingham Forest, we were getting all the decisions. Didn't impact the result. We lost 3-0. Today we didn't get them. You know, last time when we played Liverpool 2 years ago, we got all the decisions that day, and we got the win. But
I'd more than happily get rid of VAR because in this country, because you look at it, whenever it's at a World Cup or Euros, it's done like that. Done. FIFA on it. Bang, bang, bang. Decisions are made. They're the right decisions, and they're not getting involved in every millisecond of everything.
Yeah.
But here in England, it's just I want to go back to if a goal was offside, but what was given because the referee, fine, they even themselves out. The way VAR has now, it was meant to be for clear and obvious errors. It's now clear and obvious to me that they just want to get involved and be the highlight of everything.
You see
I
the
can't stand
one
it.
in the Newcastle game today?
Yeah,
that decision was like, how long did it take to come to that decision? And you're in a multi-billion-pound industry, and the technology for semi-automated offsides weren't working. Like, how is that even happening?
Exactly. It's just I would more than happily. People can say it's not the technology, it's the refs, and I wholeheartedly agree with it. Wholeheartedly, but enough's enough. Enough is enough. Just get. I would love England just to get rid of it.
Well, 2 minutes left of the Arsenal game, and currently Arsenal are going back top of the league. Can Everton find something these last 2 minutes? That'll be something to finish the day with. But they're pushing a little bit. James Garner has it in the middle of the park. Arsenal, as you could expect, have all men behind the ball. Got a minute and a half left. Come on, surely. Can Everton?
Come on, Pickford. Just
Can Everton?
do a Paul Robinson.
And also, Simmer's got 1-0 to Arsenal in his the Prem.
Oh,
and
has he?
I've got 1-1. So 5 points are on the line here as well. Nah,
it's not
crossing the
gonna
box, mopped up by Declan Rice. 1 minute left. End the stream after the game.
Also, it'll be me and Sim in the studio tomorrow. Ben is having a family day, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I'm off for Joshua's birthday.
I hope he has a wonderful birthday, brother.
He will have a wonderful
I'll
birthday.
have to come around and see him very soon.
We're going to the safari. What's the place called? Woburn Safari, yeah. That's where we're going. And then we're going...
Just hope the weather's good for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you stay in your car, so...
Oh, yeah.
Although I actually did send me a video of a rhino absolutely destroying a car, so we'll have to see what happens tomorrow.
we'll get you to come on while that's happening, whilst you're on the run.
All right, 20 seconds, and Everton have an attacking free kick, and they're going to get it into the box. A lot of men in the box. Arsenal playing a high line, kind of at the edge of their area. Nah, nothing doing. Looks like Arsenal going to win this 1-0.
Go on, Pickford, launch it.
This is it. Ref's going to blow it as soon as he
launch
launches
it. Launch it.
What's he waiting for?
I don't launch it.
That's it. Game
Done.
over.
Game over.
1-0 Arsenal. 1-0 penalty. But they get the job done and they go back top of the league. But we'll see you all very soon. I won't see you tomorrow, but Brian will see you tomorrow with Sim in the studio. But big up, Brian.
Big up, brother. Enjoy your day tomorrow, brother.
Thank
Always
you,
a
bro.
pleasure being with you.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. See you soon, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.